Alrighty then, dear gamers. We're approaching the 5 PM CET mark again on this fine Sunday evening, which means the weekly Bounty Hunters FT7 is just around the corner. In fact, in just a couple of minutes, we are gonna kick off this FT7 show match event. If it's your first time with us, we are a weekly event, as we said, for competitive gaming in the form of first to 7 show matches for basically players of all skill levels and regions. And the name of the game, once again tonight, is of course Guilty Gear Strive. I'm your usual host QK, talking you through the action tonight in our 7 matchups. We almost got a clean 4-way nationality split tonight. Outside of Matcha Mai representing Norway and Blodboen keeping the German folks entertained, the roster cleanly consists of basically Spanish, French, the UK and Finnish players. Especially cool, in my opinion, to see Spain having represented itself so actively as of recent due to the influx of new Spanish gamists on the show. But I mean, same could be said for France, since we got another high-level French player making their debut tonight in the form of Nowi May. Alright, skill level wise, don't believe in the order of the matches tonight, even though we usually run these from the lowest skill level to the highest. We're gonna be jumping all over the place tonight due to scheduling stuff, although we did manage to save the hottest one for the last still, in a matter of speaking. And well, the shuffled order will become apparent right from the get-go as we have matches such as Nowi versus ZoKHiZ and Vlink versus Whammel coming right up first. And speaking of, it's been a couple of events since we've seen Vlink Chip, our first Spanish representative of the evening. Her opponent tonight is a little bit of a curveball, as we see Whammel entering the fray for the first time, controlling, instead of Bridget, controlling the king. We know Whammel, of course, as one of the top intermediate talents on her Bridget, and tonight we're going to see what else she's got in store in the form of the fundamentals man himself, Kisk. Keeping up the pace, like we mentioned earlier, the next gamer making their debut tonight on the matchup slot number 2, Nowi May from France, is gonna face one of the top Leo talents from Finland in the form of ZoKHiZ. Zok, of course, a man of many characters, but the most recognized currently for his Leo play. Zok does inhabit a little, should we say, tragic position currently, in that he's an OG recognized player, and a decently active one at that, but has had slightly below average success rate on these matchups on these events. Although, of course, we can't on a good conscience match ZoKHiZ against any weaker players. Is you have to recognize a, what do you call it in English? I was thinking of the word tatsujin in Japanese, but if there's I guess a master of their craft, sort of, when you see one. In the third one, we go to Hoplan Nagoriyuki from Finland versus LagBoy Biken representing Spain again. Oh baby, a triple third one. Or actually no, that's that was France. So this is no, but this is a three in a row for players who are making their debuts for tonight. I almost mixed up myself there. I was like a third France player in a row, or a Spanish player in a row, but we had one French player in between. Either way, LagBoy. Actually, is this LagBoy's debut match? I think because LagBoy did have the bounty hunters or the bounty hunter role on Discord. I think we've seen him on the show before, but on a different alias. or on a different screen name, so that could be throwing me off of the loop a little. But I think we've seen LagBoy before, but on a different name. On the fourth slot, we got LA once again, one of the most active, if not the most active representative of Elfelt Valentine on Bounty Hunters. Also representing Spain, it's gonna go against Cassapphic from the UK. Of course, another Biken, or should we say, probably another player that represents their player perhaps the most on Bounty Hunters. It's hard to say, or hard to name a player who, you know, applies for these events more than Cass does on Biken. We have a couple of active Bikens, but Cass definitely top of the list. Then on the latter half of the show, on the fifth slot, we got Elverts Ishnard making a comeback. French Sin player. It's been a while since we've seen them. And gonna go against Chryspyr Faust, who did make his debut on Bounty Hunters. Was it last week? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was last week. Such a nail biter. Really good performance. Super fun to watch a match versus Ari Chip. And we're gonna see more of that tonight here. And in the sixth and seventh, in the sixth one we got SMG, Elfelt player, another one representing the Elfelt colors. Gonna go off against Matcha Mai tonight, who did play against LA Elfelt in one of the earlier episodes of Bounty Hunters, and should have a little bit more confidence when it comes to Elfelt matchup this time around. Of course, Matcha Mai is a relatively new face to Guilty Gear Strive, although being an OG player back in the day. And then of course, the top heavy hitter match of the evening. We got one of the top players, if not perhaps the top player to beat in Finland currently. That man, Rygand, ready to tackle all the tournaments coming up offline, such as the Finnish Evo, so to speak, in 1 month install. One of the top players to take that tournament. I'm gonna play against, I think, is this 4th week for Blodboen in a row? One of the greatest Asuka performances I've seen from any player in EU, period. You probably have to go look up like legendary players such as Gobo, or perhaps who are some of the top talents playing Asuka in the European region at the moment. Didn't Zando play Asuka at some point at least? But you'd have to dig up like some ridiculous players to get any better Asuka play than this. So hyper excited. But that's for the last of them. We should circle back to the number 1 match slot, which is going to be Vlink versus Whammel. I think we had one player in the lobby as well. Let me do some quick TOing shenanigans before we start this party. And we have Vlink ready to go already. So let's beam up Whammel a message as well. Let me take the ID of the room in my paste as well. It's gonna be pretty useful to throw around throughout the evening. Alright, got both players on the way. So it's gonna be Chip versus Kai. Two characters that are, well, both characters play with same sort of fundamentals. Chip, of course, leans a little bit more on the whiff punish side of the ways to play neutral, whereas Kai a little bit more, perhaps, space control-y. Although you have to say that since the older versions of Guilty Gear, where Kai used to be a little bit more, I mean, Kai has always been, able to inhabit very different positions in the neutral pyramid, but perhaps the most well known for space control. In Guilty Gear Strive, though, I think Kai transitioned to a little bit more whiff punishy role compared to in the past. But I think that could be said about just about any character in Guilty Gear Strive. I think Guilty Gear Strive is a little bit more whiff punishy Guilty Gear game overall. A lot of players, you know, or a lot of characters have, you know, great opportunities for punishing moves that have a lot of recovery. Moves usually tend to have a little bit more recovery and are just a little bit more whiff punishable than in the past. As well as, you know, it's the risk of swinging around with stuff is fairly high on Guilty Gear Strive, so backing off, perhaps waiting for your opponent to take the first risk, can be a fairly good strategy to get to your win condition in this game. Let's see how they're gonna choose to tackle it this round. I think we're of course gonna see chip players trying to look for those whiffs, because you are a character who can basically dash from full screen away. If you see a whiff, use your mobility, dash in there, fast buttons, get the wall like that, and then flow as, you know, as so. Right, early burst here used by Whammel. Plus frames from the electricity as well as the flip kick. Blink has been forced to spend her burst as well. Corner to corner. This is another great feature for not just Chip, but basically both these characters. Can perform massive corner carry combos. Red Wild Assault users can break the corner from other side of the screen as well, with relatively high damage as well, especially Kai. Kai is probably one of the most premium Red Wild Assault users in the game, especially combined with his new buffed bar slash. Ooh, nice. Speaking of the whiff punishes, we're gonna take the wall here quickly in the round number 2. Link, very strong. Oh, but there's the whiff punish. Just managed to connect with the stun dipper at the end though. RC keep the pressure going. They have a lot of this juice due to the positive bonus that Blink was able to get to very, very early to the round before. And RC, despite the successful backdash, able to keep the pressure going, trying for the whiff punish with 5 heavy. Both players swinging on this though. Red Wild Assault push them into the corner, plus frames with the use of the clone, and does have the Rekka into super Kara cancel in her pocket. One more hit, 50 meter from Whammel. She's just holding into it. Oh, that was a nice idea. However, the tragic trade there. Link did have a lot of momentum going into that situation with that massive dash forward. I was able to unleash, I think that was that a bar slash or 2S? Blink that I missed, but there was so much forward momentum that even the deflect shield wasn't able to push her off the sequence. Same stuff again. Kara cancel into super, one of the go-to tools for Chip Xanath. When the conversion can do it again. Yes, indeed. This is the simple steps that you take when you flow this and finish it up with a leaf grab. Don't even need to cancel it. 2 big combos. After the wall break, you start doing so much damage as well, because positive bonus disc does give you a decent damage buff. Nice whiff punish there from the round start for Blink. We're talking about how important that whiff punishing is, especially for the ninja himself. Jump heavy tick into a throw, and here we go again, plus frames. Oh, finds the low. The tricky thing about Chip's close range pressure, when you get to that K range, like 2K, 5K, especially the 5K, oh, but hold that thought, we got a counter hit, and this good, oh, actually ends up dealing enough damage there on the last hit. I was like, unless Blink is able to convert to the upswings, I think that's not gonna kill, but I was wrong. Chip is a character that does surprisingly decent amount of damage in Guilty Gear Strive compared to his old iterations, especially in the corner. Right, early burst here, abiding by the softy lifespan. If you get hit, especially by heavy buttons from, you know, hard damage characters such as Sky, especially when they have that Wild Assault ready to go, get a burst to save yourself from getting wall broken. And basically for both of these characters, you know, the opponent flows so well after a hard knockdown positive bonus situation that you probably want to use your own blue burst. Yeah, I wonder if that was, you know, that time Blink didn't have the red wild assault ready to go, unless I made a mistake there. Good DP out of pressure. Whammel, response in kind. With 6p on the landing, and it should go into a wall break. Well, this is the close slash pickup. But that might have actually been even better for Whammel there. Able to keep the corner position, especially since she was pretty dry on resources. No tension ready to go, and no burst either. So just drop the opponent in the corner and look for the next hit. Lots of risk there. Ow, that's gonna hurt decently good amount. Cashes it out with the RC. Look at this damage. That was almost a full risk gauge. So slightly abnormal amount of damage, of course. You don't usually expect to start all of your combos with your opponent's risk gauge blinking. Nice catch there on the backdash for the close slash, and a successful conversion as well. Equal amount of damage. Then again, Kai tends to deal a little bit more damage per hit compared to Chip. The wall break with the hard one. Red kind. Ooh, the back jump actually evades the upwards alpha, and far slash again. The tragedy that is Stun Dipper, the whatchamacallit, the archaic weakness of Kai Kisk. If you are not at the perfect spacing for Stun Dipper, so if you're too close, the hits are not actually gonna, the first and the second hit are not gonna combo into each other. Very legacy problem that Kai has had since the beginning of time. Nice whip punish there, making Whammel whip there 2k for Blink. And now controlling the corner. Extend the pressure. Ooh, a little far from the throw, huh? Still controlling the position. Take a backdash in and catches. Whammel trying to go for a backdash of her own. But now RC, switch sides. Blink ready to switch as well. Oh, there was a lot of back and forth interactions there. Switch out of the corner, then cross into the corner, and then straight out of the corner. RC. A little bit too much momentum there on the dash, but the well-spaced 5 heavy clashes with the DP. Both players still relatively okay, unless you take the last hit there. Going into this round, both players do have a stack of Wild Assault ready to go. So one hit could be it. Did have the burst there from the wall sticking hit, but in the heat of the moment, sometimes it's a little hard to convert into that super. Ooh, lots of momentum for the food drag. Skips a hop into the corner. Probably not what Whammel was hoping to succeed, to achieve with that. No. Oh, drops the combo. Quick instant air dash jump, heavy, give up the pressure again. DPs for Whammel have been working pretty well so far. Of course, we are talking about a but the current main Bridget player, so should not be stranger to DP interaction or interruptions during the opponent's pressure. But same goes for Blink. Alright, very nice. Ready with the 6p, and again on the grounded. Blink has expanded her burst resource. That was a very far 6p hit. I think the Shuriken Toss does expand your hitbox a little forward. It did give Whammel an opportunity to tag Blink out of the sky. DP. Once again, out of the pressure. Now we have the corner. It's gonna be trying to look for perhaps a DP response from Whammel. Blink goes for the daring option once again, and now, yeah, you can see the 2 DPs in a row made Whammel reconsider her pressure, and you saw her hesitate there on the meaty. But still able to take that round, claim it as her own. Nice cancel. Reset into the leaf crab. Whammel was not waiting for that. There's that perfect deflect shield into an immediate whiff punish with the heavy button. Getting decent value out of that. And ready with the 6p once again. This is something that you absolutely have to have. An old Chinese wise player once said, if you don't have the anti-airs, there will never be neutral to be played, because it's so easy to skip the neutral and just jump at the opponent. But Whammel, keeping it tight, making the neutral happen, having the 6Ps, almost 100% accuracy with that elbow of the king so far. one of the most important features that you gotta have on Shotos or pretty much any standard character, especially characters with fireballs or good buttons that work as sort of a fireball. Swinging it 3 times in a row, in fact. This is Guilty Gear Strive after all, so on the ground, 6Ps are fairly strong against grounded footsies. In the previous iterations of Guilty Gear, far slashes, some characters tend to have far slashes that just can't be 6-speed in general, but in Guilty Gear Strive, most standing pokes are, by default, usually 6-Pable, which makes 6P a little bit stronger for footsies in the newest iteration of the franchise. Big counter hit. We're going back and forth with the slashes. Vlink finding a very fancy combo there. Nice backdash into whip punish there. Simple one into stun dipper, and now we roll it. Electricity has been applied. DP has been baited. Has to probably. Oh, I like that because she saw that the burst was gonna come online. She doubled it up into a throw. And in those, that's a very good understanding of your opponents, or the usual mentality of, you know, players who are in that situation. They're gonna be watching, all right, my burst is coming up, am I gonna use it, am I gonna not use it? They're gonna be thinking about that. And as they're thinking about that, you abuse the fact that they are probably preoccupied with their thoughts. All right, wall break here for Link, just a simple safe jump. Ooh, nice delay there with the Rekka sequences. Another option always open to chip Xanath. And one of the reasons why it's so damn dangerous to try to challenge Chip out of his Rekkas is because there's so much of such a massive cancel window. Rekka 1 into Rekka 2, there could be any amount of frames that there is between those, and the same holds true for other Rekka cancels as well. We're gonna be kicked out of the game here. Perhaps the retry button has been hit a little too enthusiastically. So let's do a quick swipperino and force the players back into the lobby after next match. I did notice, I did spy that Whammel was rocking that clout gas, as we call in the industry or in the Finnish fighting game scene. The blue aura, which does signify that this gamist has been gamering it up last month. It takes a lot of games to win, a lot of grinding every single day in the Celestial floor to gain access to the custom aura. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are the top dog of the community, the cream of the crop, although usually it has some correlation. It's like the gamers who play the game the most usually tend to be the gamers who also succeed the most. So there's a little bit of correlation like that, but you just have to, you know, tip your hat and recognize the grind mindset that these players who do have these auras have been on as of recent. So really cool stuff. I think this is probably the first time I see Whammel with the aura as well. So really cool to see. Especially players coming from like intermediate brackets. Actually, hold that thought for a second while I do some tricks. I presume, was there any mentions for the players if they played it, or if they just if they whatchamacallit, if they sandbagged, or if that was an actual game? I'm going to presume that was an actual game, so that would put Vlink in 5 points. But of course, the players do know, and we're gonna find out in the end if, you know, that was actually a game that was not supposed to be counted. Good timing there on the burst. Those are some of the nastiest bursts that you can make. If you know your opponent is gonna be going for that one hit confirm into Red Wild Assault, you could time it as such that their Wild Assault is gonna whip into your burst and they're gonna lose 50 meter while you know, lose all of your resources. But that's probably one of the best trades that you can make with your defensive resources. Speaking of defensive resources though, I think I saw Whammel whiffing the deflect shield there at the end and getting punished So Vlink takes another one for herself. Vlink is, ooh, okay, finds the DP. I would say Vlink is, of course, the more, you know, I'm not quite sure how deep into the Kai journey Whammel is at the moment. So you would have to, by default, give the experience advantage for Vlink in this matchup, for they have been playing Chip Center for a decently long time, whereas for all I know, Whammel is fairly new on Kai, not sure. Right, that's one way of flipping the positions around. Use the Wild Assault to push your offense, have the momentum, and then switch sides with a successful Alpha Blade.
Duel 3.
A very important game here for Whammel. If she doesn't want to let Vlink run away with massive amount of momentum here on the game number 1 this evening on Bounty Hunters. 6 heavy, catches barely on the backdash, not quite able to convert into a big combo, but so far so good. Here comes the DP, which is I think the right option there for, if you go for the heavy fireball Oki, at that range, most reversals should be able to flip it and actually punish it. Alright, but Whammel does get the important round. However, there are many more important games coming up. Next one is almost as important. If Vlink gets this, it's gonna be 6-3. One of those classics, hard to sort of flip around positions or comeback positions for FT7 events like this. Vlink is the first player getting the positive bonus rolling, and now blocking anything in this situation is so dangerous. Vlink did use the burst, or did use one bar of tension there, but she was almost ready to go back to 100 meter. That's the power of the positive bonus in Guilty Gear Strive. Even though it was, oh, nice wave punish there. Look at the back walk into 5 heavy. Vlink has been fishing for those. And speaking of fishing for a hard burst bait here. Whammel not quite taking it. Again, extending the elbow of the king against that shuriken throw. Damn, that was a telekinetic elbow. This time Vlink goes low though. Lows are neutral, or rather natural enemies of those 6Bs. So very good on Vlink, recognizing that Whammel has been very active swinging that button around. And indeed, Vlink does get to the sick point. I mean, it is a pretty sick point in this set if you get to the 6 points without your opponent having any sort of reach on the set yet. So Vlink is going to be sitting fairly cute and fairly tight here for a couple of games at least. Swinging the 6B again. 5K is another really great button from the king. Lots of actives, decent hitbox, and is gonna check lows. Big combo. Ooh, not gonna get the heart knockdown. But this is a massive advantage here for Whammel. 100 meter, almost all resources ready to go. Oh, but hold that thought, we're gonna have it. Oh, misses it. That could have been the start of a comeback for Vlink. At least being perhaps able to force defensive resources out of Whammel, but no, not this time around. Whammel reaches for the throw, there is nobody home. And for her trouble, she's gonna get a big counter hit combo from Vlink. Right, immediate burst, momentum into the corner, however, with the multi. Oh, nice! Able to delay enough. Sees all the triple jumps through and unleashes the 6B at the perfect time. Interesting, the super fireball didn't break the wall there. I wonder if that was what Whammel actually wanted to do. It could be a combo route that just does a little bit more extra damage. But whatever the case here is, Vlink ends up getting out of that sticky situation and now threatening for the first time in this set a set point. Nice bait there. Was very sure that Vlink was gonna unleash that burst rather sooner than later, which is, you know, has been the way for Vlink to spend the burst in general. Nice side switch. Into a wall break as well. Yeah, you have to assume that the chip players would want to burst out of most hits rather sooner than later, because you are in their core. Oh, wait a second! That DP hit really interestingly. And now Whammel looking for one more hit on the landing 6P once again. You gotta give it to Whammel. That 6P has been probably the VIP, the most important button of this game, this matchup so far. And once again, Vlink has been trying to rely on those standing buttons quite a bit. Of course, we were talking about the natural enemy. Oh, misses with the Kara. Overhead Rekka. Put it back into there, though. This time should have the super ready to go. Yeah, Bunky Messai through the wall. You already know it. And now, if you block anything here, it's probably going to be the safe jump into flash pressure. Yep. Look at that meter. That meter is going to skyrocket. Next, that bait as well. Is the burst going to be there? Whammel is holding it. That's the smartest play. She is sitting on a lead here. Or sorry, not sitting on a lead here, but does... it would have been a very hard comeback to make for Whammel if she was to attempt that, as we call in the industry, the hero burst. Look at that reach of that too heavy, though. Very rare grounded normals are able to catch Chip out of those high jumps out of the corner very easily. However, we are a character that can access multi-jumps. And Blinkish moving around the around the stage. There we go. This time, the shuriken throw is a little bit better spaced, so Whammel won't be able to extend their elbow in there. However, still gets the round. Massive life lead, ready to go. Whammel is looking like she wants to play for the victory of the set. We've got one. We've got second coming up per chance here, unless Vlink has to say about that. Has to take the wall break without a heavy knockdown here, or rather hard knockdown. She did not have the resources that time. There we go, going with the 2D. As a response, no doubt, to the 6Ps coming out from Whammel. Here we go. Most Kai of the sequences run in, get the strike throw, bait the YRC. However, a little bit too far. There's a lot of pushback, so Vlink gets away relatively unscathed. Now it's the stun dipper, immediate RC. This will no doubt go into a wall break if Whammel wants. We do take that. Vlink with a lot of resources ready to go. Drift forward, forcing Whammel into a defensive posture. Nice jump out. However, even if we jump out of the leaf grab, it's gonna be unpunishable if you don't punish on the way up. Again, extending the elbow, immediate burst from Vlink. She wants it so bad. Is that gonna be it? Gonna get the wall break? Yes, indeed. Looked very, very dangerous for Vlink for a second, but able to find at the nick of, at the most important moment a successful burst. Flip the situation around and steal the game. However, it was a really valiant effort for Whammel running it back, and who knows, this is probably a fairly new acquisition for Whammel, and if it is, we're gonna assume that it is fairly new acquisition. Whammel is already utilizing the character very, very well. All right, that's a lot of talking for a first match. Let's keep the mouth not too dry. Take a little bit of sip of water and prepare your bodies for the next big spectacle. Because we're gonna have a banger following up that match. ZoKHiZ, one of the most interesting players from the Finnish fighting game community, especially if you know ZoKHiZ in real life. Such a nice guy, truly an OG of our community since the ACPR time, or rather the XX times. The old will meet the new, at least when it comes to bounty hunter standards. This will be Novi's debut match, representing, of course, the French colors. There was a little bit of an incident with scheduling, or the event scheduling here. Yours truly did have a little bit of an oopsie and made a timestamp for for the event to start at 6 a.m. in the morning, and Novi, of course, being very facilitating to tournament organizers, woke up in the middle of the night because of my dumb mistake, and probably as the result of that got a little less sleep than they would have wanted. But nevertheless, it's go time now, and let's hope that adrenaline will guide us to victory. But for which player is that victory gonna be? ZoKHiZ missing with the guard breaker there. Now it's Novi's time to strike back. course, intercepting in the air jumps, heavy. ZoKHiZ not gonna get a lot of value out of that, and gets their burst baited as well. Nowi perhaps at a spacing where they weren't quite confident pulling through with the punish, so trying to rely on the RC. ZoKHiZ in the mauling position. Nowi, of course, trying to go for the FD as well as much as possible when Leo starts swinging those 5 heavy /5 heavy cancels. Leo has a very interesting tool in that you can infinitely cancel those 5 heavies and far slashes into each other. And if the opponent does not know the power of FD, it's really hard to get Leo off of you. Alternating those 2 buttons can, you know, you can do that for a very long time, especially if your opponent is cornered. Ooh, finds a nice reversal super here. This is gonna take Nowi into the corner. In fact, this is actually gonna kill, because ZoKHiZ would get a wall break out of this as well. Alright, both players fighting for the not necessarily so important first round, as this is generally considered the early game, the intelligence gathering rounds when it comes to long sets such as the FT7 matches format. Ooh, nice, was holding the parry stance and meets the Dolphin with it. Now ZoKHiZ. A second hit of the DP, interesting way. I think I've never seen the wall break quite like that. ZoKHiZ was probably hoping to get a super there out. Again, Dolphin meeting it. That was kind of smart for ZoKHiZ. So if ZoKHiZ lets go of the parry stance there, then the extra strike coming from the explosion of the Red Roman cancel is gonna knock. Oh! ZoKHiZ getting a big counter hit. I wonder if that was a DP or if they meant to anti-air with that too heavy. Did we see a flinch from Nowi? No. Still safe, but that super is going to be plus on block. Now Nowi spending resources, getting the corner, deflect shield, resource for resource. Back to neutral we go. Of course, ZoKHiZ with the fundamentals from the past. Go for the air throw. You shall not intrude on my airspace, says every single OG Guilty Gear player ever. It is kind of funny though. I think Guilty Gear Strive kinda favors air-to-airs rather than air throws. Air throws are still good in the game, of course, but I would say if you want to go for anti-airs other than grounded anti-airs, then Guilty Gear Strive does, reward-wise, especially favor going with, you know, perhaps heavier buttons. Or even like, I guess some characters can confirm jump piece pretty well as well. Now, big damage coming here from the parry stance starter. Another tool that ZoKHiZ loves to RPS with quite a bit. Meaty Berserker Slash. Nowi does get out of there, and ZoKHiZ with a very respectful burst saying, alright, I have the life advantage here, but I think you have enough resources to perhaps make the comeback if I don't use the Blues burst. So very safe play here for ZoKHiZ. And procures 1 round lead here on the game number 2 very early. Trades are even. ZoKHiZ unleashes the parry stance, ends up whiffing, giving Nowi very decent amount of whiff punish from that. Nice, ZoKHiZ ready to jump out of the pressure reset sequence. Now the beach ball is basically a tool which is from block strings. It is gonna be a reaction check. As a neutral, or sorry, as an Oki tool, of course, can force the opponent into minus, is it -4 or -6 that you get from the beach ball? I think it's -4 or something like that. Ooh, nice up Dolphin air to air. And Nowi was trying to go for a throw there. Is that gonna be enough? ZoKHiZ could have a wall break. Yes, indeed. Very nice presence of mind. Recognizes that this reversal is actually a win. ZoKHiZ taking another one in a row, but not by much, by any stretch of imagination. Nowi has been right in ZoKHiZ's tail these 2 games so far, and now ready to hit confirm into the red wild assault. Corner we go. Ooh, okay, interesting. 6P hitting from behind, but of course, very favorable trades here for ZoKHiZ until Nowi found a very good one. Here's the second stock of Wild Assault, forcing ZoKHiZ into the corner once again. However, very good defense both those times. Crush their guard, tries to go for a double. This time Nowi not having any of that. It is a little bit of an RPS situation. If you break your opponent's guard there with the Village Schlock, or I guess it's not a guard break, but whatchamacallit in this game, the guard crush, it will force your opponent into minus a lot situation. And ZoKHiZ likes to check the opponent's knowledge in, you know, variety of their tools a lot of the time. So playing with the Blitzschlag into Blitzschlag, checking if the opponent is, you know, aware of their options in that situation. Nice jump out of the throw. ZoKHiZ follows it up with a crossover, the cross-up rather. Double jump, however, the too heavy, still finding its mark. ZoKHiZ comes down from the air, and again, this exact situation against that 2K. Knows that there is a gap, turns the super, puts Nowi in the corner, but we need one more hit. And the up dolphin is the tool to seal the deal there. Very dangerous. I think Leo's back turn stance is unique in the way that it is not armored. It's, I think it's dual one. I'm not sure what it technically mechanically is, but the fact of the matter is you don't take the damage that collides with your parry stance, so it's more of a guard point rather than an armored move. And for armored moves, you would often take the damage that collides with your armor. But since that is not the case for Leo, you can kind of still use the parry stance even if you have 0 life to spend. Alright, interesting. Nowi taking a couple of backdashes there from the wall break and trying to prepare. Oh, nice read from Nowi. This time ZoKHiZ goes for the same play, 3rd time in a row, but this time Nowi is like, alright, let's see that reversal super. Nice, the micro dash forward, far slash. Oh, the ZoKHiZ having a really fast reaction, able to get the corner with that burst. Was a pretty valuable burst, able to, you know, get a one more situation where they get to play as well as the superior position. Too bad that ZoKHiZ didn't have the life to back that up anymore. Oh, tries to RPS with the back turn D. However, both of those times Nowi was pretty much on board there, reading that the back turn D was, of course, the anti-air of choice. Which, of course, gets outplayed by, you know, simply neutral jumping in and not pressing any buttons and punishing the... Ooh, speaking of punishing things, big 5 heavy whiff punish here. Or spending the stock of Red Wild Assault. Looked a little weird there at the end, as if Nowi dropped the combo accidentally. Could have been on purpose as well in order to not break the wall. Alright, looking for the hit here. ZoKHiZ, of course, rolling back and forth with that parry stance. Nowi is the first player that finds the hit and finds the burst as well. This makes sense. You don't want to get wall broken. Getting put in this situation. Nice whip punish there, and that should be a wrap. That's 1, and that's 2. Especially for, you know, fairly standard high damage characters such as Mai, especially those that have access to Red Wild Assault, getting a very nice hit into a wall break and then another hit as a result. If your opponent can't find, you know, DPs, combo breakers, bursts, whatever, wires he's out of that situation, it tends to be a 2-hit game that we have here, Guilty Gear Strive. Nice air-to-air jump slash and converted fairly well by ZoKHiZ in terms of corner carry at least. The back turn incident. ZoKHiZ ends up whiffing the SDP. However, the SDP has way less recovery than the heavy one. And since Nowi was concentrating on something else that time, was able to be safe, but not this time. ZoKHiZ has the burst. Nowi goes for a hard bait there. Lots of cross-up interactions. 6P collides with the 6 heavy from Nowi. With the beach ball out. Can sort of predict ZoKHiZ's angle, but they don't want to approach on the ground after that beach ball goes online. And a simple close slash anti-air on the landing here. Lots of fundamentals being thrown around. Once again, ZoKHiZ predicts the backdash out of that S Dolphin. So the S Dolphin is greatly nerfed from previous iterations of Guilty Gear Strive May. Now the Dolphin leaves you very, very close, which means a lot of 2Ks are problem for May after that interaction. May just not able to do a lot of stuff other than backdash, and then the backdashes can be called out with a micro dash button, depending on, you know, what your opponent's character is running with. Cross up in the corner, finds the low, however, leaving too much gap there, and May 5B able to interrupt. Down with the jump, heavy the classic button. Red Wireless Soul drops the combo. However, we do have the prey in the corner. We just need to find a hit, but not the trade. Anything but the trade. ZoKHiZ goes for another great trade. In fact, the trades have been favoring ZoKHiZ so far in this set. Seems like he's been able to trade at the most opportunistic situations so far. The S. Sonic Boom, unfortunately, does not quite reach at that range, so not able to take out. Oh, it's actually Nowi who's throwing this time. And the plus frame, try to double it up again. Oh, that's even more plus frames if you block the beach ball in the air. And now, what's the next mix-up? Just plays it safe, goes for the low. ZoKHiZ wings big. The Berserker Slash not finding its mark. Nowi backdashing out of that situation, finding the hit. Do we have the hit confirmed? No, we don't have the resources. So close to 50 meter as well as burst. However, ZoKHiZ perhaps looking to steal it back. But here comes the 5B mash, interruption, checking, are you keeping your pressure tight? And I think ZoKHiZ was trying to go for a sneaky throw there. So the read perfect for Nowi in that RPS situation.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Of course, you could say when you have your last pixel ready to go, you do have to take those risks. If you play standard and the opponent just blocks, it's quite likely that your turn is gonna end sooner or later. And if you don't have any offensive resources to burn, then I mean, you're gonna die on the next hit anyway, so might as well take big risks. Is, I guess, one kind of philosophy that you can have in fighting games. Right, air-to-air jump slash finds its mark. Now ZoKHiZ in the mauling position in the corner. Lots of meter to spend. However, ZoKHiZ not going into any of the meter spent right away. Choosing to hold the meter. Perhaps saving it for a big conversion, which never actually... Oh! Wait a second! Oh no, that actually hits! This could be a kill. ZoKHiZ, RC, yes, is trying to convert into the kill. Is gonna have the wall break. If nothing else, that should kill. Yes, indeed. A little bit of a mistake there. The red Wild Assault combo. I wonder if Nowi was holding the Wild Assault accidentally, or if the holding Wild Assault could have actually comboed there to begin with. The fact of the matter is that Wild Assault resource is gonna be lost, and Nowi will have to now pull through with very little amount of burst in this round. Nice check there. Let them cross over you with the up dolphin and then press a button. Nice block there. Surprisingly not pressing any buttons after that. 5Ds, regardless if they are charged or not, is gonna be quite minus there. Nowi being a little cute, going for a 5D round start option, but ZoKHiZ with the hyper standard walk back button is gonna punish that. Red Wild Assault. Ooh, nice safe jump. ZoKHiZ ready to convert into a side swap though. Holding the parry stance, holding it, but here comes Nowi. Trying to set up the plus frames. ZoKHiZ not having any of that, jumping out of that non-meaty beach ball. And finds a big overhead. Here we go. Super conversion just before Nowi got their burst back. The timing is absolutely perfect for ZoKHiZ Leo.
Mankind. Duel 1.
I mean, technically, it is very likely that you are gonna get your burst back for most of last hits, because, you know, now when you get stuck to the wall in the current iteration of Guilty Gear Strive, you're gonna build back around, is it 4th or 3rd of your burst bar? Nevertheless, you're gonna be building a lot of your burst gauge back just by getting stuck to the wall. Alright, ZoKHiZ ready to confirm. But Nowi also... Ooh, okay, we're just too heavying here. And that time it ended up being the right tool to big counter hit against 3K from Nowi. Alright, situation is quite equalized. Nice timing on that 6B. Leading into a big combo. In fact, leading into a kill combo. No, never mind. Like I said, we'll never kill in this situation. Here we go. Keeping it going, using all of their resources. It's a good stealing position if Nowi manages to find one more hit. There we go, frame trapping with the red wild assault. It was a big commitment. Nowi had to basically spend everything, 100 burst as well as their tension resources, but in the end, it ended up being the right call for sure. Right, quick RC, or rather fast RC. Nice, makes it burst safe, or sorry, DP safe as well. ZoKHiZ forced to unleash their burst. Contained into the corner, tries to jump out. However, Novi's air button is there. From what angle? ZoKHiZ managed to get the air going, get a big counter hit on the back turn heavy. Finds the overhead. Nowi though, staying tight. This time ZoKHiZ's time to try to fully charge 5D. Not finding its mark, however, not being able to flip out of that position either after that fully charged 5D. Ooh, 6P calls out the Dolphin. 5P calls out whatever ZoKHiZ was trying to go for back and forth. Here's the red wild assault. Basically for the price, gets a frame trap and gets the corner. Throw them back in there. And now, because they used the red wild assault, they were able to build their other resources back. Ooh, 6P from a very precarious angle once again. Could have secured ZoKHiZ the winning position. However, Nowi gets out of there. Just an air dash out, anchor drop, and now won't be able to get the hard knockdown. ZoKHiZ actually in a very good position here. Both players in a decent position. I guess Nowi technically in the better one. Builds into the wild assault. RC, keep up the pressure, going at the 6P. I think I saw a 6P flash there for ZoKHiZ. Tries to go for the anti-air. However, the jump too heavy. The anchor drop ready to be unleashed from an optimal angle, from an optimal spacing. Won't be able to interrupt that one here, unfortunately. At the delayed button once again, catching the very delayed Dolphin, I think it was. With wall break. We are red wild assault users after all. Right, lots of trades. This time Nowi able to get out of that. Oh! Tried to go for the throw there. And ZoKHiZ churning the super. We're not gonna spend the extra 50 to take the wall, because this corner position is fairly good for Leo still. Back turn. Finds the low from a very far distance away. That was almost a max distance back turn K that ZoKHiZ started here. Very nice spacing. Alright, 1, 2, 3, drop them in the corner. What then? Both players almost full burst resources, uses the up Dolphin and steers forward to get out of there. However, ZoKHiZ is on the hunt. Trying to go with the Berserker slashes. The last one does not cross up. Collides with the drive-by Dolphin. Now Nowi spending a 50 meter on this one. Oh! ZoKHiZ on the way down, gets tagged by the beach ball. And now successful pressure for Nowi. Kinda dry on resources, gets tagged by the SDP. Would have probably, I'm not sure if that would have been plus for ZoKHiZ or not. Very interesting kind of situation there. ZoKHiZ did end up spending the 50 meter on that DP though. And spends the wild assault as well. Last one. Oh, he did not commit. DP to the right direction. Oh, one hit point. One hit. Oh no, ZoKHiZ. Another heartbreaker for ZoKHiZ Leo. Last hit point, last pixel, but not able to find the special move to secure this chip damage. And here comes Nowi setting up the plus frames from the beach ball once again. Up Dolphin shenanigans, plus Dolphin. And here we go with the 5B. We are out momentarily. However, ZoKHiZ was trying to load up the fireball there. Which did end up getting caught by the Dolphin. Those S-Dolphins especially are extremely fast. Horizontal gap closers. And Nowi, for the first time in this set, is gonna pull up with the 2 games of lead here.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
I think this is a fairly common kind of script how ZoKHiZ has been rolling with. Oh, nice! ZoKHiZ tries to, with lack of other resources, tries to DP out of that sequence. However, DPs in Gilded Gear Strive are throwable. ZoKHiZ has more where that came from. Not getting the wall break, but this is actually good for Leo. Ooh, uses the back turn heavy as a frame kill, and then a gut punch from back turn P. Nowi not ready to give up this round just yet, and ZoKHiZ once again reads the throw and into a super wham bam, thank you man, good reads. If there is a read-based player, then I think ZoKHiZ embodies that position in the Finnish FGC. In his heart, a big body player has played in the past characters like Potemkin in the older Guilty Gears, Iron Tiger in in Blaze Blue, Vaseraga in Grand Blue, and other similar kind of characters. So, characters that rely on heavy, hard reads to win the rounds. So this man definitely not a stranger to making hard callouts in difficult situations. Fight BP is the answer out of the back turn stance this time around. ZoKHiZ has a lot of meter, but so does Nowi. Nowi, in fact, probably has enough meter to finish it. A lot of stuff being baited by ZoKHiZ, but most importantly, ZoKHiZ not ready to unleash the most important one, which was the burst. However, he's gonna go down here. I think there is a lot of positive and a lot of negative things, or rather, good news is that ZoKHiZ was able to keep that burst. Bad news is that if Nowi takes this round, we are looking very, very it's looking very, very scary for ZoKHiZ from that point on. So this round is extremely important for our Finnish Leo player. 5B being the interrupting tool once again from Nowi Mai. Whoa, what momentum? Skips a hop past ZoKHiZ, and ZoKHiZ was probably as bewildered by that as I was. So it's positions, we still have 50 meter. If this goes to a wall break, yeah, this could be a kill. 1, 2, slice it up. This probably ain't gonna kill though. With the lowered amount of damage that Season 3 supers got the bait on the gold burst. However, baiting those gold bursts, not the most value. They are extremely not minus. In fact, I forgot, are they -2 now? So you would have to do something really funky, such as, jump into an IB, or I don't know. It's kind of tricky to punish those gold burst attempts. But I mean, it's a decent reward in itself to get the burst resource out of the opponent. Of course, it sucks at the end of rounds when you're down to the wire for both players and the next hit is gonna decide it all. If you bait a burst, you're like, oh man, I should have had that. I made that massive read and got the burst out, but I still lost. But you know who's not losing this time? It's gonna be ZoKHiZ Leo. Wants to run this back. Nowi does have full stick of burst ready to go for this round, and is not scared to use it either. I think they do say, even though we know the flashiest applications for red wild assaults are, of course, to go for those corner-to-corner conversions from single hits, I think even more valuable is the pressure extension and the corner carry that you get from, just basic block strings, which has been like the primary means of Nowi to use the burst resource in this set. So very prototypical, very, let's say, flowchart is not the word I'm looking for. Very standard way of using burst resource for red wild assault users. Speaking of, I think there was a lot of RPS there. The reason why Nowi didn't hit confirm into the red wild assault there is they knew that ZoKHiZ might burst immediately, and if I go into the wild assault, then I'm gonna lose the resources. So was trying to hard read it there, but ZoKHiZ that time didn't burst. All right, finds the overhead. You guess for your life. 50-50, unseeable high-low, which is the lifespan of Leo Whitefang in the back turn. A double jump over, gets a successful jump in. Switching sides, no doubt, here we go. Time to one more hit. He's gonna have to pray flee, however. It's not the most optimal. Oh, look at that yoink! The rocket momentum there. ZoKHiZ saw that from miles away. And now for the first time in a while, ZoKHiZ technically in the lead here, even though it's 5-5. ZoKHiZ does have the round lead. Nowi threatening with the block strings, and this is the other byproduct of using Red Wild Assault as we discussed before. Oh, okay, goes into super, that actually kills. Wow, that was a smart decision from Nowi. No reason for, you know, any sort of fancy sequences. I mean, that was a fancy sequence to begin with, to just end the round right there. Right, which one of these games is gonna go into the 6 points first? Both players have expended their burst resources, so no Red Wild Assaults. Oh, this time it whips and goes into the 5k instead, the low. His RCs keep up the pressure, finds the 2S hit, and then the air-to-air is gonna put ZoKHiZ in the driver's seat precisely, consistently. Those are not the adjectives I was looking for. It's gonna put ZoKHiZ in the advantageous position to take this set right here. Nowi did have quite a few games up on ZoKHiZ earlier. But the finish, big body player never says die. It's gonna have his first opportunity to take this set right here. Plus frames from that guard break of 6 heavy. Ow! That's gonna hurt. Let's see if ZoKHiZ wants to burst. Yes, indeed. We still want to play this round, especially since ZoKHiZ was ready, or was nearing that 50 meter as well, and would no doubt love to spend all of it. Cross up, even if your back is against the corner, you have to always keep your eye on the Berserker slash. Now Nowi gets to go back to the neutral. Drift forward, slow down their frames. ZoKHiZ stays tight, holds the parry stance, and unleashes it at the perfect moment. There was a little bit of RPS there. Nowi could have unleashed a red RC to break ZoKHiZ from that parry stance release, so to speak. But of course the layer 1 option is to usually let go when you see that the opponent collides with your stance. Neutral jump heavy, won't be able to convert into pressure, for Nowi is ready to press that 5 PPP. Still anybody's game. ZoKHiZ is on set point here. Lots of plus frames to stance cancel. Any stance normal into a stance cancel will produce plus frames in this iteration of the game. And what's it gonna be? Cross up into. Are you gonna press the button? Oh! Footsie's on the leg into ZoKHiZ with the back turn S. Calls Nowi out of that 3k from half screen away. But it's still not done deed yet. ZoKHiZ nearing that 50 meter. Is gonna have it now. What's it gonna be? Jumps out. Nowi no doubt is gonna be worried about that reversal super. Oh, perfect spacing there from that jump heavy. Both players trying to fish, trying to be as safe as possible. The cross up, here comes Leo. Oh my goodness. Even though that Berserker slash was not the most lucrative hit, will be able to flow into pressure, and a simple back turn K will get the set for ZoKHiZ. ZoKHiZ coming back from a sticky situation, 2 rounds down, will be able to go 2 rounds up on Nowi. Very nice adjustment there, but also very cool stuff from Nowi. On their first match on Bounty Hunters, even with sleep deprivation because of yours truly, we are setting up our best players with disadvantages left and right. Shake my head. Shame on you, QK. See you next time. Hope to see you on another game on Bounty Hunters in the future, Nowi. That was good stuff. All right, moving on. We're dialing it back a little here. Going to the... I'm hesitant to call this a rookie matchup anymore. Hoplan and LagBoy are... I guess it's somewhere in between. Rookie and intermediate, I guess. Are usually the matchup that we would start the event with. I think I see Hoplan in the lobby already. So give me a moment. Doing some TO stuff. Oh, I think we actually had LagBoy in the lobby already, but was hiding behind the pillar. Hiding behind the pillar tech. I love that tech as well. Alright, this would be... Wait, is this only the second bounty hunter set for Hoplan? It feels like I guess it's just because we I've seen Hoplan so often in the Finnish fighting game Discord, and I've played with Hoplan so much as well. It feels like we've had Hoplan in the community for a much longer time than it perhaps has, you know, has been so far. But you have to recognize that Hoplan is one of the newer additions to our humble little community. So this would be the second time on Bounty Hunters, and as for LagBoy, I suspect, or actually I know that this is a gamer that we've had on the show before, but who was it? What gamer tag did they run with? Unless LagBoy chooses to disclose that information, I'm, you know, my guess is as good as yours. Alright, ready to hop into it. Nagoriyuki Baiken. Two fairly explosive characters, however, you would have to give the initiative to Nagoriyuki in most of Nago's matchups.
Change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beast.
When the samurai has blood available, generally a lot of characters will find it extremely difficult to challenge many of Nagoriyuki's blood options. Beyblade, extremely good hitbox and very fast startup, able to crush some lows as well. And Clone Hukyo, well, the tool that basically sends a hitbox forward, can't be hit out of, will delete all fireballs, not that Baiken has any, but will basically allow, with the cost of half of your blood, if you use Clone Hukyo, will be able to sort of skip a hop into the opponent's guard. The downside is, of course, once you do spend a lot of blood, then those special moves are gonna be locked out, or rather, you're gonna be locked out of those for a while, at least until you manage to procure more blood back, which comes back in the form of, you know, landing your super, landing your heavy strikes, as well as the last hit of /// sequence are, I think, the biggest blood draining techniques that Nagoriyuki has access to. And Hoplan being, you know, relatively new-ish player is still sort of working with the blood management minigame of this character, the resource management minigame. Of course, characters like this, you know, always offer you an option to overburn and then burn out as a result. And in the case of Nagoriyuki, it's extremely punishing for, you're gonna lose like 70-80% of your life if you pop with the blood. And I'm going into an OTG, but the next mix-up is gonna take it here on the first round, or actually the second round for LagBoy. Right, speaking of burning blood, we're committing a lot. Is that gonna... Oh, nice! I think that would have been a blood pop, but able to convert into the blood-sucking universe, which is actually the one I didn't mention, the biggest way of getting out of the sticky blood pressure situations, as well as doubling up as one of your win conditions for strike options. Now, is this gonna hit? Yes, indeed. Caught the instant air dash. And as is, you know, customary in Guilty Gear games, if you are in the middle of your air dash startup, you won't be able to do much, not even block. So Hoplan caught LagBoy, their pants down there, and able to take the first game for themselves. // on the landing. With the stagger pressure. Nice. Keep to the other side. LagBoy deeming that that's a good time to put the brakes on the opponent, but the too heavy from Baiken ends up going under. Too heavy from Nagoriyuki, but of course, just far heavy. LagBoy says, I want to maintain this advantageous position as well as my life lead. However, slowly the life lead, oh, a little early there on the // ends up whiffing on the parry. Now there is some extra RPS layers on the reversal parry of Vikings. If you trigger it from too far away, you actually have to be almost point blank for Viking to get the damage portion of the move in. So for characters such as Nagoriyuki, who can swing far slashes, 5 heavies, other disjointed normals from very far away, you could get away fairly safely by triggering it, but then going back to neutral. However, at this distance, you're surely gonna trigger that into big rewards. It's basically, oh! I'm actually surprised. Tried to go for the parry there, but the DP was supposedly delayed enough so that the active frames of the parry were over already. Despite how powerful that tool is from Viking, it has surprisingly little amount of active frames. So any amount of small delay is usually going to be able to bait Viking if you think that she will go for it immediately. Interesting, very respectful round start there from both players. Gliding with the S. Tether. Oh, close slash, the big anti-air option. Did they say Nagoriyuki has no anti-airs? Close slash is proximity. Super will not only break the wall, but fix a lot of Hoplan's blood problems. Oh, never mind. Like I said, never will break wall in this situation. But we already have so many victory conditions swinging in our favor. The blood-sucking universe, the blood coming back, no health for LagBoy, corner position, and countless of other things. Hoplan will go 2-0 versus LagBoy here.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. Duel 1.
I saw glimpses of Needs play there with that mix-up. Using either the DP or the 6K as sort of a whiff into the blood-sucking universe. Alright, too heavy. Really nice read there for LagBoy going under Hoplan's 6P at neutral footsies. It's gonna break the wall. We'll have to take it without a hard knockdown. It's looking good for... Oh! LagBoy, with the presence of mind, sees Hoplan drifting forward to the blue RC, goes into the throw, and steals the round. Oh, okay, wait! Hello! We're going wrong super LagBoy! And Hoplan goes do or die. That was a lot of blood spent, but it doesn't matter. That was gonna be a pop, but he knew that it was go time, Mario Party. Someone's gonna die today. And it definitely ain't me. Alright, burst here, bursting Hoplan into decently high blood, level 3. But 1 bar of blood available. Hoplan still has perhaps a... Oh my god, from what angle 6P? Even though Nagoriyuki 6P takes a step forward and extends you to the wrong direction, quotation wrong direction, LagBoy still ends up extending themselves into it. And now with the 1-2-3 RC, gonna stick into the wall. What's gonna be? 6 heavy? Yes, big damage. Wow. Okay. We definitely have the Guilty Gear 6Ps happening tonight. The most classic situation, you air dash over your opponent, they whiff 6P into the wrong direction, but then it ends up not being whiff after all, as you extend your, hurt box into it. Mysterious are the hitboxes of our Lord and Savior, Ishiwatari Daisuke. I get the wall break here. Still, decent amount of blood available. Hoplan wants to turn on the heat. Oh, and turn on the heat we do. Far slash misses though, a little too far. Options are open. Yo into it. It's dangerously close. Oh, let's see. No punish. Oh no. Perhaps a knowledge check or perhaps a reaction check. I'm not sure which. But in those situations, you do have to pick a fast starting button enough. Most of the time, you should be able to get a close slash. I think the blood pop is actually, what is it, minus 7, minus 8, something like that? Even more? All right, but LagBoy not letting that worry them too much. From the hard knockdown, attaching Kabari. I think this could be a safe jump. Oh yeah, definitely was. And buffering the super during Hoplan's super. A really nifty feature in Guilty Gear Strive that I haven't seen in many fighting games before. When opponent is performing their supers, you can actually just have an infinite buffer. You can buffer a super and the game will basically replicate all of your inputs on the same frame, on the first frame, and you're coming out of that super. So you can very easily perform like a DP or a reversal super out of the opponent's super flash. Right into the corner, we have our technically our win condition attached in the form of Escabari and the pressure situation. However, Hoplan gets out of there very high on blood, so we'll have to manage it safely. I mean, that will fix all the problems, and the delay on the 6P lands a counter hit on Hiragi. It feels like Hoplan has just the perfect amount of delay for all of these meaties. Once again, the 6P, it looked like a perfect meaty for a moment, but no, the Hiragi, the parry from LagBoy had already expired. That is another great showcase of how little active frames that parry does have. Alright, skipping a hop, using a lot of resources, burst, blood, trying to get into the commanding position. However, right, saving grace here. Not able to run pressure though. LagBoy getting the throw, and now big damage venues are available. Yes, that OTG6 heavy on blood level 3. Remember, the more blood Nago has in his bars already, the more damage he is gonna be taking. So at naked blood at the level 0, you're gonna be one of the toughest characters, one of the hardest, or one of the highest EHP characters in the game. With the likes of, oh, hello. / punish. We are pushing the opponent to the other corner. I wonder if that was a combo that you can do normally, or if that was empowered by the Escapari that was attached. Nevertheless. Right, RC, Hoplan not caring much about that. RC 2K. And skipping a hop into the blood-sucking universe. Unfortunate. If the close slash did land on block, Hoplan could have potentially played, yeah, exactly this. Lots of special moves. Anything hits. Yeah, there we go. I was honestly expecting Hoplan to just go Beyblade DP, which probably was what LagBoy was thinking about as well. But then the variation to the plan, the command grab instead. It is very easy to get caught in the respect, the overly high amount of respect when you think that the special moves will chain into each other. Reversal super, lots of blood coming back. This won't kill LagBoy just yet, but LagBoy is dangerously low on resources, whereas Hoplan will have almost everything available to him. And 5 games in a row, Hoplan looking to completely annihilate their opponent tonight. LagBoy will have to find some sort of adjustment here.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflect, Duel 1. Let's rock.
Right, with the pressure once again, that's a lot of blood spent. LagBoy gets a very important interruption. Able to put Hoplan into level 3. Yeah, burst, keep the level 3 going. Oh, okay, nice. Into the bite. I was very close to popping. But I mean, Hoplan has, you know, despite taking these high risk, high reward gambles, I think LagBoy hasn't been able to get out of that, out of those high risk guessing situations very often. Gonna be able to set up a safe pop here into the technically instant overhead. It was a little delayed this time, but blood available, and here we go. Checkmate. You're gonna be holding your FD and guessing for high lows as well at the same time. Says Hoplan. Says any Nagoriyuki player when the opponent is low on health. Nago is such a nasty character for forcing those checkmates at the end of the rounds. That's like one of the reasons why I generally try to what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to spend the gospel of saving burst against Nagoriyuki for high plot situations. For if you use your bursts like so, you kinda open yourself up to those nasty checkmate situations where if Nago goes over the line and tries to force the last hit, the last mix-up, you don't have the stop button anymore. But if you are saving the burst, you can basically at any point when you say, alright, I think you're gonna pop out of that, so no matter what happens, I will force the pop with a burst. But now, Hoplan is gonna go into the set point position, 6-0. Oh boy, he coming with a lot of force. And finds an anti-air with the Beyblade. Very multifunctional tool. As we say, it costs resources, so it's okay. Lots of resources thrown around by Hoplan though. Still 1 bar of blood available. But that means LagBoy is also doing decent amount of damage here. Super, if this hits, this is big. No, as a safe jump was able to parry as a result. Into a throw. OTG available? No, won't go into it. Deems that the 6 heavy OTG was not enough that time, which could have rang through on Nago. Now LagBoy's last chance to make it count. Uh-oh, Bloodsucking Universe buff is active. Lots of blood spent. Tries to, reaches for it. LagBoy was respecting. However, it rings a miss. Here we go, anti-air as a in the form of Beyblade once again. 2 heavy misses and punished on the minus frame situation. Get a throw. LagBoy could be looking to open it up. Very brave. Far slash out of that. Tethers S backdash. And just like that, is that over? It's all over. Damn, LagBoy came so close. Look at the health. There's basically nothing left on Hoplan's life bar. But that is the life of Nagoriyuki. You ride the very, very fine line between life and death. Am I gonna pop? Am I gonna be able to combo my opponent down from this situation? You have a lot of different venues for going for risky plays if you so desire. As one of the most beautiful features of this character, especially the further into the Strive's lifespan we've gone, Nagoriyuki has gotten a little more committal patch by patch. And I think that's the kind of stuff that we like to see in games like Strive. As spectators, at least. I guess, you know, if you're playing against Nagoriyuki, you love to see opportunities to deal a lot of damage on Nagoriyuki as well, so that you're not the only one in the you're not only one out there who you know, gets to take massive damage. All right, next up, we've got one of our Elfelt players of the week ready to go. Hopefully, let's see. We have Cass in the lobby already, so let me prompt L. That is go time. Right, so Elfelt versus Baiken. So in my mind, these characters are surprisingly similar if you think about it. Both extremely explosive when you get to their optimal ranges. Both very good venues for massive damage combos out of good mix-ups. But both also lacking a little bit of the high tier range, or rather the, not high tier range perhaps, but range to compete with some of the longer hitting buttons in Strive. Now, you know, Baiken does have some really good features on her buttons, such as like Far Slash is one of the fastest starting Far Slashes in the game in the form of 9-framer, but often outclassed at neutral by, you know, other Far Slashes just having a little bit more range. Elfelt struggling with the same kind of problem. She has fairly long-ranging normals like Far Slash, 5 heavy, but just tends to be button-wise a little outclassed against some of the best ones, such as like ZoKHiZ or KaiKisk or what are some other really good button characters in the game. Those are like some of the most standard ones. So Elfa, even though in the past she kinda embodied a Kai-like archetype, in Guilty Gear Strive she's a little bit more like Sol, a little bit more rushdowny, and because she has one of the fastest movement speeds in the game, she like doubly so leans into that game plan where, you know, you can basically utilize your mobility to find openings for yourselves, rather than just being the KaiKisk or the ZoKHiZ who just tries to occupy space and use, you know, your big swings to prevent opponent from coming into your zone, so to speak. So in that regard, both these characters are fairly similar. Which one takes the cake in footsies, we're gonna have to figure out, because I think this will be the first time I see Elverts versus Viking matchup. A very early burst here from Cass. Nice 5B anti-air. And now you are in the mix. Now downside, this is one of the first, one of the few non-DP character matchups that we get to see on Bounty Hunters, which is a big advantage for Elfelt. If you don't have a character who can just straight up always challenge your Rekka entries, of course, you know, no matter what button you go into your Rekka with, or go from into your Rekka with, will be able to be interrupted by reversal DPs or meterless DPs. However, Viking does not really have that option. I mean, technically, Hiragi, the parry from Viking, works with, basically works with similar function, but I think it's a little weaker. It's more susceptible to delays and more susceptible to waiting. Mark the gun, finds its mark, finds the low. Cassie trying to work towards that 50 meter, which is ever so important. I think with that TK Yozan there, but not getting checked by that is always very important when you play against Viking. If you see that instant or like TK jump slash, you can bet your ass that's a missed input on TK Yosensen, and you should probably try to be ready to get out of there as a result, or perhaps even anti-air her out of it. In the heat of the moment, of course, it's sometimes very hard to see. RC, give it the pressure, nice jump out of there. Blue RC to go into a custom combo. Now both players are having a distinct lack of offensive resources, but the whiff punish with too heavy from Cass is gonna give her the first point here. Some of these characters' buttons are similar as well. I think both, like, if you compare, like, for example, two heavies, of course, you know, Elfelt's 2 heavy does not really low profile at all, will be able to be tagged by most 6Bs, whereas, you know, Viken's 2 heavy will be able to. But they're kind of similar looking buttons. They approach on the opponent from very far away. Very good whiff punish tools if you find yourself in the best position. Speaking of, can be a sort of a jump scare normal as well. Ooh, tried to go for the F Shiki, but doesn't quite get it. Perhaps ruined by the FD block of Cass. Go RC, sees the yellow aura coming out. There was no impact for my RC, and that can only mean that you're either bursting or using your yellow RC. Very good presence of mind there on that pressure sequence for Cass. We do have fireballs though for Elfelt. That is one thing. I think, oh, well, that's a big counter hit, too heavy. Will go into, like, especially if the Elfelt player has good counter hit confirms. Elfelt is one of the best characters in the game to just counter hit confirm, period. She has such destructive and corner carrying combos. Will be able to get a wall break almost from any counter hit anywhere on the screen without the use of Wild Assault. But it does require you to have the routing to do it. And of course, Elfalt players, if you want to play a very simple, non-technical Elfalt, you can just combo into your Rekkas as a combo extender, but you do leave a lot of damage on the table. Nice 6p into the left direction here. And yeah, that's a cool feature, even if you... Oh, hello? Not finishing our play. It's a cool feature of the Chain Lollipop, the Rekka sequence of Elfalt, that you can keep it going even if it whiffs. So there are a lot of setups where you purposely whiff the entry Rekka and then play a meaty low or high Rekka instead. Right, nice movement there by Elle. Both players opening it up 1-1.
Duel 1.
Ooh, nice close slash out of that 5D. Not quite able to get the full conversion, but pushing Elle towards the corner. Oh, there we go with the backdash shimmy. In case Cassie went for a throw or a parry, the parry was the option this time around. So we were talking about Elfalt not necessarily needing the Wild Assault to do the combos. Again, the delay on the 2D. Finding a big counter hit combo. Good trade for LA, but this follow-up situation not favoring TK, Yozan, RC, the basic stuff. Should get the corner and should get the kill. In terms of, you know, the straightforward abilities, the straightforwardness of the mix-ups, Baiken is usually gonna be fairly simple. As long as tether is not attached, it's gonna be just a strike, low throw, strike throw kind of a situation. So you're generally trying to guess if Baiken wants to go for an overhead TK Yozan or a low in the form of 2K. Here we go. Ooh, actually able to hit confirm that. Now into the Kara Super. As long as you are not on your last sequence of the Chain Lollipop, you can turn that into a Super. Oh, baits the deflect shield, and now the tether is attached, so big mix-ups coming. Yozan ends up whiffing. LA backing out of that situation with a back. Oh, nice anti-air. And in terms of anti-air quality, Elfalt is probably one of the better characters in the game. It's interesting how, you know, she is like a little more on the struggling side at neutral, but at least they gave her a very powerful and far-reaching 6P, so that she doesn't have to, you know, succumb to being something like, what's a good example? Like a character who, ooh, we're going for this matchup, or mix-up, missing the gunshot, waiting for it to come back, and then taking plus frames from there. I think the parry from Baiken cannot parry projectiles, so that's one way to sort of try to fight the reversal parry from Baiken, if you want to play it like that. Alright, Elle is using movement to the best of their abilities. Good. Ah, nice, I love that. Instead of going for the Bridal Express to take it out of the corner, just converting into a side switch instead. And now reaping perhaps the benefits of it. 2D, no cancel. You could see Cass reaching for the reversal parry there, was probably waiting for the Chain Lollipop. Yes, instead, exactly this. Because there is a gap between every single normal that you can go, even if you go for the highest attack level move, which would be 6 heavy or 5 heavy into the Chain Lollipop. There is always a little bit of a gap, at least 1 frames, or a couple of frames, which can be parried through by Baiken. But at the same time, I think 2D for Elfalt is it minus punishable? I think Elfalt has one of the worst 2Ds, so technically 2D non-cancelled is still minus punishable, but if you space it correctly, maybe safe against Baiken. Right, into the super. Oh, the tether actually pulls Baiken back after the super hit. Then again, the super would give you a massive frame advantage, so you usually have the time to just run up and close slash on Elfalt out of most of your knockdowns anyway. Alright, Cass once again, even it up 2-2, going neck to neck on these intelligence gathering rounds. These early games.
Duel 1.
Ooh, this brave 6P forward. That was an interesting, worked out perfectly against the TK Yozen round start. I think that was the first time that Cass opened up with a Yozen like that. Yeah. That's kind of what I was talking about. So out of that counter hit 5 heavy, you do have some really massive, tricky combos that you can do. If you are ready to hit confirm into that, you can certainly take the wall and the massive damage, but you can, if you're not ready, you can simply go into the Rekka instead, which was what Ella did there. And of course, the most important thing is the consistency, so it's much better to go into the Rekka and get some damage and a knockdown, instead of just, you know, trying to go for the big money and dropping your combo. Now, reversal parry working really well, starting the sequence for Cass. The tether is attached, so custom combos are available. How is this gonna fare? The super gun. Oh, nice! The deep dash under. That's one of the ways you can counterplay the fireballs from Elverts. However, suffering a little bit of a backturn incident here, a la Strive. So Ella ends up stealing that from Cass. So in terms of the fireballs, they're very unremarkable for Elfalt for, you know, being a normal fireball. If you make your opponent just block it, it's not gonna produce you plus frames or anything. It's just a poke. However, the best case scenario is if you whip with your fireballs and they ricochet back. That is actually gonna give you lots of plus frames. That's why you see a lot of Elfalt players trying to like double jump, super jump, make the shot whip on purpose, and then make it come back into massive advantages. That's why you should always actively try to advance on Elfalt. Either go air to air against her fireballs or run under and punish her on the way down. Which is kind of what Kazi did do there in one of the earlier RPS, one of the previous RPS situations. Right, heavy kabari. You're only deterred. Oh, but hold that thought. 2 heavy counter hits. Let's see. Are we gonna get the full course? Set them in the corner. Okay, I wonder what that was. Maybe a bait of some sort. Go corner to corner. Alpha also has a lot of corner carry potential. Not able to react to that cross up. Heavy kabari follow up. Tried to parry there, however, nobody home, but the Pineberry grenade. Super, this will give you a heart knockdown. Never mind, just misses it. Interesting. Oh, I think it was a little late there, huh? Chain Lollipop S into a throw. Another really cool sequence that more Elfalt players have been starting to integrate into their plan. So on whiff or on block, the Chain Lollipop S, the entry Rekka, is only -1. And of course, you can make your S Rekka and your low Rekka completely airtight in all situations. So, ooh, into counter hit. Yeah, we got a little bit of a combo here into the super. Yeah, these are the combos that we're looking for. So the big reward usually for your counter hit is going to be some sort of conversion into the Pineberry, into the grenade, which will corner carry a lot and will produce way more damage than just going into the Rekka. Still boxed into the corner. Cassie will be interrupted by 6P, was it? The super from Cassie will, no doubt, once again erase the fireball from Elfalt into the low this time. Still wants to fight for this round. Lots of movement, trying to make Cassie whip something in the air. Here we go, Yozen air to air is gonna produce massive plus frames for Cassie. There we go, punishable. Oh, goes for a little too hard button there. Far slash is... It's not the move that you want to use if you want to punish that. The danger penalty has been called. Cass goes into a big damage combo, chooses to use the 50 burst instead of the tension this time to break the wall. So lots of explosive potential available, goes into the super. Is that gonna be it? Elva is kind of soft-ish character. No, not quite yet. But this will be a hard knockdown. Everything available for L, but a simple safe jump, yeah. Its options here for L weren't too great for sure. You would need 100 meters to gain access to your reversal super RC to be absolutely safe. Ooh, nice. Able to move forward so that the ricochet hit didn't find its mark there for Cass. Break the wall with the gun. Hard knockdown once again. Same situation, but oh, okay. You need to attach the Escabari instead. There are a couple of different options that you can do on bike and either go for the safe jump or... At least she should be able to get a safe jump, right? Because, you know, Elfo doesn't have any sort of reversal DPs, and her reversal super is one of the slowest one in the game, right, as well. Alright, 5 heavy into the Rekka. 1, 2, 3. Basic stuff. Fire a couple of shots. And meets them in the midway with 2 heavy. Blue Wild Assault, get the hard knockdown as well. And base the reversal parry. RC, yeah, wham bam, thank you ma'am. Clean sequence in the head of their opponent. Or rather, I wouldn't say in the head of their opponent, but having the exact read that time for what the opponent wanted to do. But now Escapari has been attached. Could be a boon for either one of these players. Let's see. Resets it into an S-Rekka. RC, yeah, we're getting some value out of these faster resets. Now, if you end your chain lollipop sequence with a low or a high, you're not gonna get the most, you're not gonna get the best knockdown, which is what L chose to do here. So that's the downside if you end up playing your third one as a mix-up as well. Nice. Extend the pressure from 5 heavy blue RC. Kaz is in a tough situation, but however, good choice there. 6P into the right direction. Probably reading the instant or the jump, instant air dash jump over into Yozan, perhaps, which would be the most common trick for Baiken players. Plus frames from the Takabari. However, the backdash gets L momentarily out of that and able to build up a advantage here in the Rekka 1-2. 2 hits from the overhead Rekka ends up accidentally breaking the wall and denying L the opportunity to get a hard knockdown with that burst. Alright, mix-up's coming. Oh, actually, yeah, so when the tether is attached in this patch and you get a throw, you can actually pick it up on Baiken nowadays. Was that plus frames? So generally the air gun, as far as I know, shouldn't be plus. The ground gun is the only one that gets plus for sure. But in that spacing, I'm not actually sure. Maybe the tech heads in the chat will know. Missed the shot again, comes back from the outside of the screen, completely preventing Cassie from going for a parry. One more hit. L has a massive life advantage. In fact, has not lost a single point of health here until this point. And the 6P, look at that. The great reach. It looks as if that 6P was more vertical than horizontal, but believe me when I say that 6P has quite a bit of horizontality into it as well. And the cool thing as well, it's one of the most explosive 6P rewards as well in the game. If you get a good counter hit and pop them up high, you can convert into Pineberry and like half of your opponent's health. Best case scenario. Yozan getting an air-to-air hit. So keeping it to the other side. Once again, L has been very mindful of those air dash over Yozan drive-bys. But now mix-up gets for your life and below. Good guess, I would say. Use tether for your advantage as well, keeping the distance fairly close. OTG, oh, interesting. OTG blue wild assault. I haven't seen that before, actually. Shimmy is successful, but the 2K does not find the range. And a good shot there. In that situation, I think Kaz had already committed to a button. Kind of dangerous spacing if Kaz is, you know, ready to take the air. Gonna find air-to-airs or even punishes on the landing, but, you know, a read is a read. Here we go. Ooh. Wanting to be extremely safe here. So there is a little bit of variability on your timing. If you run past the shot and go over Elfelt, sometimes you can get a close slash on the way down, but sometimes the shot ends up coming back to you before your close slash goes active. So I guess if you want to be extremely sure, you would go air to air against her instead, or try to air throw her or something like that instead of going for the big reward grounded close slash. All right, 1, 2, chili, dropping in the corner, trying to double it up, but Kazi is ready and backdashes out of the setup. Nice the low. Not ready to cash out just yet with the use of meter. Keep the pressure going. Attach Kabari. But again, a really good read here for L, getting out of the throw mix-up. The G set it up, gold burst. Into positive bonus, but that's gonna whiff completely. Let's see, are we gonna go with the gun? Yep. Just get a simple knockdown. Escabari, was probably trying to read it there, but didn't hold the block long enough. That's a lot of plus frames, question mark? Or I'm not sure. You actually, I think you recover out of that hit airborne, but you are still in a favorable air or ground to air situation. Reset it into Esreka. Cassie says, yep, I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm gonna try to parry here after the super flash, or the RC flash rather. Plus frames once again, tries to reach for the scoop. Yet again, L though, unavailable for that throw. Skip to the other side, yep. Your frame slowed, won't be able to mount any sort of abara here. In the overhead, shotgun, yes, and a super, yep. Pretty basic stuff. And now, into the hard knockdown. Of course, we are facing a Biken, so the safe jumps are not as great. Goes into the chain lollipop, resets it again, is that enough? Base the burst, burst never comes out. Cassie just choosing to hold it. Oh, hello? Are we good here? What's going on? Right. Could have been a little bit of a hiccup there in terms of connection. But despite all of that, L is gonna go into the 6 points here. 6-3. We saw that earlier this evening. And everybody who's played, wow, that thought. Too heavy counter hit, immediate burst from L side. Probably a good choice. So that was probably expecting to take a wall break there. And blue burst should most of the time be pretty good use if you can prevent the opponent from getting a hard knockdown wall break with it. Return with the gun. Unfortunately, the plus frames from that gun are not gonna matter much, or rather, it wouldn't even lead to a plus frame situation, but from that range, won't be even able to get the hit. Oh, hello, both players just swinging at each other, missing. Let me set up. Catches the backdash with the Escabari into a combo. Yes, indeed. Cass still has some fighting spirit left for sure, and we've seen some nutty comebacks this week already. So wouldn't rule out Cass just yet. We are of course playing Biken as well, a very explosive character, and Cass has been able to run these sequences pretty actively as well. There we go, drive-by hit, able to actually hit confirm that. Into a Miskabari, good tech from L, but your life is slowly running out. And now, first step has been achieved. 4-6, way better than 3-6. Now, technically, Cass only needs 3 more. It is gonna be a long, rocky road, and can't allow L to take a single game here. Deep dash, utilizing that fast movement speed of Elfelt and going into 2K. From my own experience, when I've been playing Pocket Elfelt as well, surprisingly, like that dash in 2K combined with Elfelt's mobility is surprisingly like a tool that you have to use surprisingly a lot. Especially against characters who have better footsie buttons than you. Speaking of footsies, 5K into... Good FD, pushing Cass away. Nice micro dash, able to make the shot completely whiff. However, Cass was completely ready to counter that with a quick parry of hers. very delayed jump D momentum. Even if you backdash out of that Pineberry, you still gotta be ready to anti-air properly. Which Cass was technically able to do there. Or wait, was not able to do there. 6P again, Fuel the Gear 6P, trademarked. Switch, like even if you skip to the other side, you still run a chance of shoving yourself into that active box of the 6P. And now we have the first set point position for L. Good punish there. A little too close for comfort with that Bridal Express. Bridal Express really fast surprise poke, but unless you space it properly, it's most often gonna be minus and or even punishable. Break the wall. L does have full burst ready to go, but at last pixel, it's not gonna be the most easy thing to use. In this situation, I would argue that you don't use the burst in this situation in Season 3 to blue burst out. That would be kind of desperate. You try to mount an offensive position and then pull out the comeback with the use of 2 wild assaults, right? Just keep your pressure going, try to deny them the opportunity to play instead of playing to not lose. I think it's a very classic example of don't play to not lose, play to win instead. But speaking of sequences that we play to win, Cass, something just completely flipped the switch in Cass's head, it seems, because you know the past couple of games and then some have been extremely bike in favor. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was talking about earlier. Dash deep enough, get the close slash. It cuts a little close, like you could see the shot already kind of facing through Cass, but you have to trust in your read and your ability to execute, and the close slash will get there on Alpha before she touches the ground. Damn. Did I just count like 3 games? That's 3 games in a row for Cass, and suddenly, from the 6-3 position, we are in 6-6. Is she gonna actually rob it? Hard read here. L not quite ready to burst into that. But as a result, we're gonna have to take this corner pressure. Is the burst gonna come out or not? Oh, it's gonna come out from Cass instead! The counter read! And now, big advantage going here. Misses the wall break. Charges the 5D a little too much. Anti-air, jump PP, yes, works out. Fastest button that you can do. Most important thing is the wall break. Nice, gets a little ping pong combo. And now into the perfect high-low setup out of that tatami mat. Parry them, pound them into the ground. A la Soul Bad Guy. It's basically the same damage that you would get out of Wild Throw. But the oh, nice timing on that burst. Gets a gold one. Suddenly, this is a set point Cass with positive bonus, no less. That positive bonus has expired. Cass has been able to derive quite a lot of value out of it. Almost a full 100 burst worth of explosiveness. And now, wait, Elle is basically guessing for her life here. Live or die, make your choice. Nice backdash with punish. Okay. Critical combo drop, but happy little accidents as we speak. Missed the 2P, go for a throw. Are we still in this to win this? L in the air, is it gonna hit? Yes, it does! Massive hitbox reaching upwards, or perhaps it is the massive hurtbox reaching downwards for L's Elfelt. But what a comeback from 3 to 6, all the way straight, 4 wins, 7 to 6. Cass making a very difficult looking comeback, or I say, well, technically should be a difficult comeback, but Cass somehow making it look very simple and casual. What happened there? What was the adjustment? I don't know. Something just started working out in Cass's favor majorly. Right, moving on with the show. We have cleared our first comers or newcomers of the week. Now we are moving into the players making their second appearances. We have Chryspyr, who appeared on Bounty Hunters for the first time last week with very solid Faust plays, taking it just barely over their opponent in a 7 to 6 nail biter. And they're gonna be playing against Elverts Ishnard from France today. This will be a kind of a comeback game. It's been a while since we've seen Elverts. In fact, let me check. It has been around. It's been actually a very long time. The last time we saw Elverts was against Robin Elfold back in at the end of 2023. So yeah, it has been a good like 4 and some months. And extremely excited to see more Sin players. We're gonna have a Sin double Elverts on this one, and on the next game we have Matcha Mai. That's what mommy loves to see, more Sin play. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, Chryspyr assuming the position. Let me see, is Elverts in the room already? Let's see. We don't have Elverts just yet, so give me a moment. Alright, we have both players on a crash course. And of course, when it comes to Kisks, well, I mean, when it comes to just about any character that has good far-reaching buttons for your standing buttons, Faust is that one character who always has an opportunity to RPS those things, not just by, you know, crawling, but also just being a overall very not very, what's the word I'm looking for? Character that doesn't stand very tall. Extremely low profile character when he's crouching. So that will mean some of your pressure sequences have to be altered, especially if the Faust player has a very active RPS with that crawl.
Mankind knew that they
and even more importantly, if they have the situations kind of labbed out and they know what am I supposed to hit if this crawl actually rings true on an opponent's strike and it whips, what am I gonna press after that? It's one thing to avoid a strike with a crawl, but it's a completely another deal to avoid the strike and then get a whiff punish with it. That's when the Faust matchup starts feeling very annoying. If your opponent Faust can do that. Alright, throwing some really good items from the get-go. Getting a little bit of a mix-up here. Little guy is guarding the front yard. We'll have to respect it. But classic, just a normal instant air dash out of the corner, using the burst to box Chryspyr in. And now here we go with the kiss. Oh, okay. Not very plus, in fact, punishable even on hit on that elk hunt, but the threat of the elk 2 is what induces fear a lot of the time on opponents. And you can double it up with even dash forward or any sort of pressure reason if you're daring enough on Sen. At the oh, nice! Trying to fish for the elk hunt. That is going to be one of the most, one of the primary directives or objectives at neutral against Sin Kisk. Ah, okay, good 5B mash there. I think Elverts was trying to go for a throw. But yeah, one of your primary directives is to try to fish for that elk hunt, for it is one of the premium neutral skipping moves in the game. Will basically move you half screen forward and give you an opportunity to spend one stamina to be extremely plus. So of course you're gonna see a lot of Sin players trying to, you know, just say, I don't mind this. I don't want to play this neutral stuff. I'll just go in here, be +8 after spending a stamina, and then go from there. All right, mix up. Yeah, even on that DP, the meteors are always gonna come down. Fishing ball hit. Good timing on the burst. Able to deny all that damage from Chryspyr. He's trying to look for it. It turns into an interesting game of cat and mouse if both players are kind of on the same Yomi layer. Because then if you think the Faust player is fishing with those low pokes, you might find opportunities to air dash in instead or try to find a whiff punish on Sin. A big 5k foot. Little guys is on the field. Perhaps helping with a combo here. No, we're not gonna help for Jack. 5k, very nice. Even from that far distance, I think Faust has a pretty nice, whatchamacallit, I don't want to call it privilege necessarily, but that 5k being able to hit Sin, even if you are not at close slash distance, 5k can get you a very nice counter hit punish on Sin's DP on whiff. Now, a lot of players struggle with that DP, especially when it's spaced. So when the first hit whiffs or is well spaced, and then the second hit kind of comes down in a way where you can't get a close slash unless you commit to a dash. So it's nice to have a button that will sort of just get a guaranteed punish for you no matter the range, and Faust 5k is one of those buttons. Alright, +8, but now very low on stamina here. Momentum burst, keep it in the corner, but the stamina is slowly recovering, so we have options once again. However, this is not a hard knockdown, and I think when neutral is concerned, you would probably give the advantage to Faust, perhaps. I mean, both of these characters are fairly good at playing neutral, but it's Faust is kind of hard to approach, and more importantly, Faust's items are a serious threat to Sin. Like anything on the ground will be, you know, able to prevent you from going into Elk Hunt, for going into Beak Driver. Just about all sequences are kind of denied by the good placement, well-placed items. All right, playing it very safe. We are playing against the DP character in the form of Sinkisk after all. Speaking of which, the DP immediate burst there from Chryspyr. Probably get Ella. Oh, but caught on that backdash from close slash. Now, close slash for Sin is one of the most comfy close slashes in the game. It doesn't hit vertically, but it hits horizontally fairly far. So it's really good at catching opponents trying to backdash out. And with the standard six frames of actives and a massive horizontal reach, yeah, you have opponents' backdashes very well covered. Not to mention that you have 6k as well, which has like half screen reach, so it's like almost impossible to backdash out of. YRC, that must have been almost max range of that yellow RC going online. Throwing the trumpet. We still actually bounced back. Can you not throw the trumpet outside of the screen then? Or does Faust actually always throw it like at these locations? Could still be anybody's game. The 100-ton hammer snatching all Elverts out of the sky. However, use 2 stamina B+6 and mix them up the most classic way to victory. Getting the elk in is just the first step. Then what you choose to do from that point on is oh, hello. Did we catch a backdash there? Immediate burst. Technically baited by Chryspyr, but you know, the sequence, like to actually bait and punish that burst on those 5D fully charged situation is way harder than you would think, unless you've ever, if you have never lapped that before, you might lack the insight on how freaking hard that actually is. Now we'll be able to pick up their own trumpet. However, Sinkisk DP. Ooh, that was kind of cool. RC to keep themselves safe. So the combo breaking feature of that horde didn't quite play out as Chryspyr would have wanted there. Big close slash starting this sequence. This is gonna be side to side. That double mix. Ah, yeah, the jump 2K. Another tool that is very good at dealing with Elk Hunt. I think because Faust just deals with Elk Hunt overall so well with many of his tools, like the Love Back, Jump 2K, any items, you can't really force Sin into a situation where you have to kind of be honest. More honest than against many other characters. Of course, the big equalize breaker here is that Sin is much more of a damage character than Faust is. So you have to... Oh, speaking of, this will read into big damage. Get the wall break. Yes. Look at that. Ow! That was not even with burst. Or sorry, with super. Like generally Sin damage is fairly backloaded. In the form of, you know, most of your, like, sometimes even third or half of your damage will come from the super. I guess not half anymore, because the damage of the super was nerfed a little bit. Like, a good, like, third of your damage is gonna come from that super. Seeing Sin combos deal so much, even without the super, is kind of nutty. Mix towards the corner. Nice, the 5k again. Are we gonna get a bombo? Have to RC to save yourself. Nice! I get the wall break? No, not quite. Still a very cool combo for Chryspyr. Nice, good interruption. Both players trying to fight desperately get that trumpet, but the trumpet will not play any part for Elverts is already at very, very low health amount. Nice. And Chryspyr once again grasping the lead here, 2-1. However, it is still, oh, excuse me. It's still very early to the set. And anything can happen at this point. 2P, very premium round start option, very classic round start option for Faust as well. 6-framer, reaches very far, can generally not be challenged by many things other than things that go airborne or crush lows, or I guess 2Ks can clash with it. Here we go with the super, missing the clean hit, so getting an OTG. Reaching for the throw a little too early as well. Now Chryspyr with a big chance to flip this around. Plus frames on the love bag. Opponent is airborne, so we're gonna be plus out of that mix as well. I think caught the DP from Elverts there. That's another really great feature when you're playing against a strong DP character such as Sin. In fact, the strongest DP character in the game, ZoKHiZ, is to have a strong command grab. And the snip command grab from Faust is probably one of his best win conditions. Applying Afro, like Afro pressure is real shit, kind of. So it's really nice to have a move that can put you in your like basically in your win condition as a read against those DPs if you want to go that route. Lots of good items, throwing a lot of hammers. Generally is considered one of the best items, if not the best item that Faust has. But to convert into the mix, but too far away. Love back. Nice escape by Elverts and a big counter hit. Yes, goes into the max combo. This could actually be a kill. We are talking about a low stamina, or sorry, low guts character. However, the double hit from Hoop Stomp breaks the wall prematurely. Still gets it though. Swinging a miss with the Elk here. Chryspyr playing a very nice distance here. Look at that. One of the options against Elk Hunt, if you don't want to swing into it, if you don't want to risk it for the biscuit, you can keep backwalking and just kind of try to space yourself at the tip range of Elk Hunt and then punish on reaction. Good timing on the burst, not getting caught by the bomb at least. Nice RC out of the jump kick. Oh, the dash, dive kick? Dive kick? I think that's the term that we usually use in FGC. DP into the corner, misses with the close slash. That was dangerous. However, Chryspyr was not ready to press any button that time. Nice, good knowledge there. 6P, you can basically, if you think your opponent is going to cancel into the mix, it doesn't matter what they cancel from. There is always going to be a gap to 6P through, which Elverts seem to know there. However, not enough value that time. Chryspyr is gonna take that round for themselves and grow their lead just a tad bit more.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Into the classic Elk Hunt we go. Big throwing. Yeah, Sin jump-ins are generally not very plus on block, especially. It's unless you're gonna get a counter hit. Yeah, even that is just like +1 or +2, so it's gonna lose generally to throws. Jump 2K from Faust is once again the tool. Get the 3DP punish as well. Flows so well. At this point, I would say when you have such a strong and consistent counter strategy against Sin's DP, the Sin player will really have to start thinking about, alright, when am I gonna unleash that DP? I can't just go willy-nilly and try to take the momentum back for myself for free. Speaking of... Ooh, misses with the combo though this time. Counter hit from the 2D into the super. This should be enough damage, right? Deals a little bit plus the guaranteed wall break damage, which is something like 50 or something. Yeah. Chryspyr seems to be playing super crisp tonight. Elverts finding himself in a situation where a lot of stuff, especially on the defense, has been read by Chryspyr. The DPs haven't really been working out as Elverts would love to. And now even the confidence to just dash forward from round start. Perhaps Chryspyr has found the confidence, perhaps even feeling themselves. Put the Afro on. Alright, keep the Afro on. Afro stays on during footsies, as they say. Alright, wall break. The Afro's still on. I think it's like, it's a decent amount of time plus... Ooh, okay. Going for the bait. Missing the air throw there. Jumpy going into completely wrong direction. Or rather, misinputting the air throw, if that was the intention. A hoof stomp suffers the same the same fate as Elk 1. Most of Sin's, or rather all of Sin's special moves on the first one are gonna be minus. So minus, in fact, that you can punish them on block. However, the threat is always the possibility to go into the follow-up and frame trap. Big dash. Elverts having none of that. A 5 heavy into Elk Hunt, 1 into Dig Throw. Once again, classic. Ooh, nice! I get a nice pickup from that jump K. Full sequence. Miss Elk into meaty close slash. And the wall breaks a little faster than Elverts would have wanted there. Had basically no way of closing out the round. But now this should be punishable. Oh, a little unfortunate. I think didn't have to use the YRC there. In fact, well, I mean, that's one way to guarantee the plus frames. But I guess from that position, you should be able to get a like a 2P punish as well. Nice, close slash, deflect shield followed up by far slash. 2P punish again. Oh, hello! Whoa! That was supposed to be a reversal, but the banana peel making it an actual combo. A little stroke of luck there for Chryspyr, perhaps. But now we go, the 2 stamina skip into close slash pressure. Nice tech from Chryspyr. Double jump, come down with a jump D, but we still have to escape the corner. This will suffice. Able to procure some real estate from themselves as well. That's not quite gonna kill. YRC, get off me. And that super will indeed punish the recovery of that far slash whip from Elverts. And moving ever so closer. That 7 points. Chryspyr is on a win streak. Now, it's not like Elverts hasn't had very good success on offense. Lots of those close slash sequences have led into pretty decent amount of damage. It just seems that I think the problem is the neutral, once again. It's getting into that position where you get to deal that massive damage, because Chryspyr seems to be staying fairly tight, seems to be defending from all the right angles. Again, crawling under the big driver. Lots of those opportunities available for Faust if they know what they're doing. Oh, nice, that was such a big commit. Oh, slips on their own banana peel. And we are number 1. Oh, little guy coming to defend the ground space. Mix-up available here. No, just using it as a wall break or as a guard break. Some plus frames. Coming down with the meteors once again. A lot of good options, or rather good items for Chryspyr. But that goes without saying, strong Faust players will also throw those strong items. It goes with the fact that strong Faust players generally tend to find the opportunities to throw those items a lot at neutral, and the more items you get to throw, the more chance you have to win, to throw the big jackpot. Oh, okay, that was kind of cute. Playing a little bit of a F-Shicky situation there. Not able to convert it properly, and the punish. Not the biggest punish though. Bar slash on the airborne, won't be able to go into much. And now Chryspyr with a massive life lead. Their defense is gonna be tested here. No, says I don't want to defend anything. I'm just gonna burst out of here and keep my advantage. And in that situation, when you have such a massive life lead against especially characters like Sin, who would love to swing some far-range pokes, throwing bomb there would probably be pretty okay. You can either guarantee some chip damage, force them to FD, or try to force them to go airborne, which will open up more venues for you to anti-air if they want to try to avoid the potential chip damage. Alright, very nice instant air dash. However, tries to convert it into a thick throw. Doesn't dab air dash deep enough. Very good air throw reach for Elverts. Gotta be careful. Yeah, abort the sequence. Don't get self-exploded there by the bomb. Works again. The jump gay instant air dash has been looking very good this round. Even with the afro on, we're looking cool. We're breaking cool. But now it is still a liability going into this screen. Somehow able to crouch under that poke, whatever it was from Chryspyr. I'm surprised. Generally, even if you're crouching, the afro makes your hurtbox so tall that Faust tends to have access to it with most of his air normals. But pressure here ends with no cancel. I think that was a guaranteed punish opportunity for Chryspyr, but just not looking at the opponent's stamina gauge this time. It can be one of those knowledge checks that you might not be conscious of if you haven't played against Sin too often. That when stamina is out, you can just punish Sin after a special move. All right, but we are displaying signs of life here. Still fighting spirit left for Elverts. With a cool afro at the end of the screen, declaring, here comes Elverts. Time. This is where it has started for pretty much every single set this evening as well. And who should doubt the patterns that we've had so far, the signs that we've seen? Elverts is gonna run this back, right? Easily. Alright, RC, yep, that was pretty good. Was out of stamina, so that was indeed the only way that Elverts could have confirmed that combo. Being like, not only just being a resource management character, but there's a lot of situations for Sin. Ooh, that was kind of cool. There's a lot of situations for Sin where you have to be aware, which resource am I gonna use? Do I have to use Stension? Can I use Stamina? Or should I perhaps use Burst instead? Which one do I need to use? What resources do I have available? And often enough, it might be just one of those that you have to go for. For example, in situations where you only have, like where you have 0 calories or 0 stamina left, you absolutely have to burn the meter. And missing those combos can be rough. Moving around, trying to find either the elk or the instant air dash. The instant air dash is, oh, caught them backdashing with that close slash, keeping them in still. No stamina, so no way to combo, or rather close that combo. Again, the close slash on the backdash. That's exactly what I was talking about. My boy Sin, the close slash reaches horizontally so far. It's one of, I would say one of the hardest close slashes in the game to backdash against. But here we go. It's gonna sell, ooh, nice combo, and the little guy as well activates all of it with that combo. However, once again, close slash is what started the BMB combos, the big ones for Sin. Elverts, yep, I told you guys, chat room, this is gonna be a run back. I can already feel it in my bones. starting it with that's actually surprisingly like one of the only ways to actually contest round start 2P from Faust. I forgot if Faust can actually recover in time against that hoof stomp. But even if so, it's kind of like a hard to react thing, because you wouldn't usually be expecting your opponent to just hop at you from that round start position and crush your lows like that. But I guess Kiss boys have the privilege. Nice bait. The 6P goes back in with the use of L-Cunt. Bob and weave. No matter what you do, the L-Cunt is one of the cornerstones of your offense as ZoKHiZ. Oh, missed with the 6K. I wonder if that was a frame kill there. Golden bait once again. The little guy coming to cut the combo a little. However, we are still in the corner. Being very patient on his own offense here. Yeah, waiting for that DP. Chryspyr was so looking for that. Wanted to take the round with the punish. However, Elverts still had the burst ready to go. And now +6. Don't backdash out of it, my dude. We're going into the wall. Oh, not a wall break though. That was kind of a tough situation. Elverts basically spent everything that they had in hopes of getting the wall break and getting out of that sticky situation, but they ended with hoof, which is not very plus there, even on hit as a combo ender, and then we're just dry on all resources. So now this is a set point for Chryspyr once again. The blue wild assault pushes into the little guy, and with that threat, plays a tick throw. It's gonna explode soon. Yeah, that Chryspyr kind of knew. Even if they get the DP, the Afro is gonna guarantee a position back. But Elverts fighting back. One hit, very minus, hoop stomp into the throw. Is this gonna be it? One more hit, close slash. Oh, are you kidding me? ZoKHiZ players give no shits whatsoever. Big combo, RTL, wall break. Elverts still in it to win it. The hard to press close slash in the face of defeat. Nice backdash out of the Elk. Where's it gonna come from? It's gonna miss, and that's not gonna be it quite yet. But the 5B, all right. Ooh, that was very close for Elverts for making that comeback. However, Chryspyr, as it was the case in the earlier set, has just firm enough grasp on the neutral and the situation, of the control of the situation, to not let Elverts run away with the comeback. But still, very nice start of a comeback there for Elverts. It definitely didn't look very comfortable to be in that 2-6 position whatsoever. And if you are a ZoKHiZ fan, you are in luck tonight, because we're gonna have another one. Matcha Mai coming through. Did have to give up last week because you know, life happens, so couldn't keep up their play streak. Gotta sometimes let other players play as well. But this will be the second time that Mai goes against an Elfelt player. First one was against Elfelt, who was, you know, one of our players earlier this evening. And now we're gonna have another, rather a new player entering the fray with Elfelt Valentine. SMG. Generally more known for the... let's see if I can remember what character SMG usually plays. Did I actually forgot? Hello, QK? I'm gonna cheat. I think SMG has played quite a few characters. Generally, we've seen SMG Biken, we've seen SMG Sin, we've seen SMG Testament. But I think Biken has been basically the go-to for SMG. Yeah, that's why it was a little hard for me to remember, because, you know, SMG has been on the show with a variety of different characters so far. All right, but let's see what Mai has picked up from her previous encounter with Elfelt and the other, you know, other opportunities in between. Now, as we lamented earlier, Biken versus Elfelt, Biken did not have access to standard DP. This will be, once again, a matchup against the standard DP character, though. And Sin being probably one of the most powerful, I guess it's just fair to say the most strong DP character in the game. We're gonna see a lot of DPs probably to prevent SMG for going into that Rekka sequence. Nice recognition, that was not well spaced enough, going with the 5k and checking in case SMG wanted to press buttons out of that Bridal Express. The Bridal Express, so from my own experience, how this matchup kind of plays out at neutral, Elvert is kind of struggling against Sin's better buttons. You have similar kind of buttons, but Sin just does it a little bit better. So you have to rely on your mobility, your massively fast dash as Elvert, but also some of your other buttons, your faster buttons such as maybe 2k. You can go like micro dash 2k, deep dash 2k. You can use 2Ks to even bait incoming Elks. And then of course the whiff punishing. You have to be kind of crafty, kind of creative and patient as Elvert. This is another one of those things that you can do to start the sequences. Whiff your shot, make it ricochet, and then get the plus frames that way. It was tricky, because the Pineberry ended up whipping in that sequence and might have been expecting to block it. Here comes SMG, soft knockdown. Very respectful. Oh, I love that. The red wild assault into a whiff 5B is actually +2 or +3, allowing you to frame trap them with close slash. Taking the shot. Nice maneuvering, gets in there. Still decent amount of... Ooh, don't press a button there. Close slash was coming out already. Mai still has 1 stamina to go. The ricochet, not taking the pressure. There we go. The first DP of many to come. Yeah, don't you try to go into the chain lollipop. Mai unleashing the flurry of DPs, establishing the RPS. If you are trying to go from normal into chain lollipop, I'm gonna be ready. Big one. I think that was the right confirm, but a very rare hit for SMG. That 2 heavy counter hit, and Mai was airborne that time. Right, Mai very dry on stamina here, but as they say, when you run out of stamina, you go into the wild assault or the tension options. Break the wall. Lots of resources for Mai. How do we choose to play this? Ooh, this could be... Okay, saves herself out of the guaranteed throw tech situation that would have to take otherwise. The last frame trap with that Bridal Express. That's the tricky thing. That's the thing that kinda is the great equalizer, I want to say, in the neutral. So the Bridal Express for Elvert is so fast that it can actually oftentimes end up, whiff punishing Sin's buttons from full screen, or it just starts faster than Elk Hunt or Big Driver. So it can be a very potent surprise poke. Right, dashing in, not risking with the close slash. Here we go, the DP. So even against the very basic 2 heavy OTG grenade setup, Sin can certainly DP that, and the DP will end up beating the overhead option from Elvert. If Elvert goes for the low option, that is kind of like semi-safe jump, and will end up blocking against the DP in the air. Right, into basic conversion, 1-2D. This should be wall break. No, not quite. Tries to convert big, still has the RC. Again, if you don't punish Sin on the way down, you are gonna potentially take some RPS in regards, or in the form of, is Sin gonna cancel into DP2 or not? If he does and you press, you're gonna take a big counter hit. If he doesn't press and you miss it, well, you missed your opportunity to punish. Still, Tyrant Barrel, even on a misconfirm, is gonna be safe on block. And now SMG working with a big corner carry. Oh my goodness. Very dry on resources here. Mai still has her full burst gauge ready to go. DP, get off me. Lots of options for SMG, but not the most important one, which would have been the full burst here to get out of that close slash hit from Mai. Both players opening it up with 1 apiece. That's kind of, it's very interesting how Elk Hunt actually ends up completely avoiding the Pineberry, because it moves you so forward. In fact, I think Elk Hunt is surprisingly good round start option against many of Elverts' options. Let's see if Mai hit it or not. Yeah, that was a startup of the throw, I think. Wow, Mai no shit's given though. Presses 5 heavy and gets decent value out of it as well. The situation is equalized life-wise, but Mai has so many more resources to spend. Even dashing into the fireball, I think this will whiff punish the 6p. Yes, indeed, this is gonna be a wall break. And a checkmate potentially. What's the mix-up? It's much easier to safe jump for Sin against Elfelt, for Elfelt doesn't have any, you know, first of all, it doesn't have any DPs, and her reversal super is so slow that it's like one of the easiest ones to safe jump in the game. A little bit of a misconfirm there for SMG. Didn't quite get most out of that 2 heavy counter hit. Mai, 5 heavy. Very commonplace to leave your pressure. It is only -2, so there's quite a bit of RPS to be had. Oh, that was a big one. Probably a very good burst spot for Mai as well. Not only got away with not taking much combo damage, but was able to hold the corner position. And now, I think that was a safe jump, right? Yep. Into a punish. A little too far there. Far slash too heavy, not connecting. No problem though. We are flowing. Free flow. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a kisk. Is that what they say? Alright, of course, the tool of the trade. To start it off, Elkhunt. Another thing for Elfelt is that she doesn't have like the best low lingering normals to kind of fish for Elkhunt. 2S you would think, but it's like 2S is kind of slow on startup, and I think it's lacking on active frames as well. So sometimes it can be a little tricky for Elfelt to find the best buttons to RPS against Elkhunt. I think that's one of the reasons why Elfelt would much rather maybe use her mobility instead than try to challenge Sin spokes just head on. OTG grenade, deflect shield gets nice. Able to not only get out of there, but get a little bit of an opportunity to snipe SMG out of the sky after that. Go under the 5 heavy, yes indeed. And here's the pressure starts. Has to spend the last of her stamina on that follow-up. To avoid getting punished on that hit. Ooh, that's gonna be a big one. Yep, probably worth a burst. Especially when Sin hits you with a BMB combo and has 50 meter, you probably already know that you're gonna be wall broken, so pretty decent blue burst spot for SMG. Here we go, one more stamina. And gets the wall break. That's another dubious RPS spot, so Mai used the Beak Triber 2, the Beak follow-up, which is minus, what is it, minus like 4 or something. I forgot exactly, but the thing is, a lot of Sin players might be thinking about DP afterwards. And if you hesitate on that, Sin might just press buttons after being minus out of that. Alright, we are gonna get another disconnection, so let's see, let's force players back to the room after next one. So Mai does have a very decent lead here, and it does indeed seem that Mai is looking way more confident, let's put it like this, than what she was looking like 4 weeks ago against Elle, which was technically the first time that she saw Elfelt on a competitive environment. Remember, it's only been a couple of months since Matcha Mai picked up Guilty Gear Strive. But being a very OG player from the Exert days, and being a, you know, what do they call it? A fighting game enthusiasts, playing a lot of fighting games, has been able to pick up Sinkisk basics fairly fast. And now kind of in a position where she is looking to move from the rookie bracket into the intermediate grounds. And I think this is one of the, definitely one of, or like taking this would be absolutely an obstacle that she has to overcome to be able to move forward on that skill ladder, so to speak. We are moving into the last round of the game number 5 here. Even Stevens. Mai opens it up. No doubt with the use of Elk Hunt. Elk Hunt, my beloved. Elk Hunt is such a comfort thing for ZoKHiZ. I would argue if you play against Sin and you have no consistent game plan against Elk Hunt, you're probably gonna lose by default a lot of the time. Because it's just such a strong tool. Elk Hunt is kind of what Beak Driver was in the old game. They kind of flipped their sort of, not functions, but their sort of use cases in terms of like what is the stronger move. Previously, Beak Driver used to be the one button that absolutely can't be challenged by anybody in the game. So it would be the ultimate fireball to force your opponent into taking air. This time around, Beak Driver, not the strongest tool, but instead they made Elk Hunt so powerful and so plus as well on block, allowing you to just start your pressure out of Elk Hunt. Something that previous version, the Exert version of Sims, could only hope for. Because Elk Hunt in that game used to only be used to be 0 on block, but generally people would, you know, IB it very easily, and then even on a +0 Elk Hunt, you wouldn't really get your pressure started per se. But Mike was trying to reach for a throw, however SMG was completely ready to counter that. Now, yep, that's one way you can do it. Fake the chain lollipop startup and then RC, see if the DP comes out. If it does, then take the punish. If it doesn't, then you're still airborne in front of Sin and can probably press a button and start your turn that way. Alright, Mai not following up with an Elk Hunt there. Sorry, Gazelle Step. Into big combo. Yes, indeed. Should go into, not quite into a wall break, but we're getting a close second here. OTG into... the delayed TP. I think you should, like, if you hesitate on that low mix-up, you are gonna get DP'd. I think the grenade into 2K should be airtight, so you can play it, you can basically play the low option airtight if you don't get DP'd on the way in. So it's kind of a knowledge check situation, I think, for SMG. Perhaps if they're not, like, confident with their options, or they're, like, scared that, oh, if I go for the low, empty low option, I'm gonna get DP'd. You might hesitate and actually get DP'd because of that, and so it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. Right, Mai swing with that 6B, saving themselves after the whiff with the use of purple RC. Mai is so loaded. Alright, gonna punish, yep. Last moment burst, absolutely what she had to, or what he had to do. And then a nice reaction on the air to air. I think was maybe trying to 6P to the wrong direction. No, she started that sequence with a 2P, so that was a meditated 2P anti-air, right? Here we go. 5B into the thick throw. I think it's if the opponent blocks the red Wild Assault 5P standing, it's actually a little tricky for Sin, because that's gonna be minus. You would often want it to whip so that you can be plus yourself, funny enough. But I think there are very few players who actually, you know, are standing up for that. 5 heavy first hit into the pseudo high-low, keep them guessing. Nice hit confirm into wall break, the super, yes indeed. And now Mai does have the 50 burst ready to go as well if they want to push Wild Assault pressure. Ooh, that was actually... I think Mai can save herself here. No, maybe not. Oh, that actually deals enough. I was like, yeah, that's never gonna kill, but Elfelt is one of the softer characters in the roster, huh? Of course, generally RTL for Sin Kisk deals like kittens for damage, so it's like it's basically a tool that guarantees you wall break no matter what combo you do anywhere on the screen. But I mean, getting a wall break anywhere is a fairly strong feature in itself. Right, this could go into a wall break here. Let's see. Yeah, should go into it. Oh, never mind. Went into the wrong follow-up. I think if SMG goes for the high as an ender, it's not gonna hit. High into shotgun would have though, right? RC, yep. Save yourself. And a little bit of a shimmy here, walking forward, prompting the response from SMG, and Mai is on set point here. Completely different kind of game from the last match we saw from Mai against Elfelt. Ooh, very brave throw here. Or actually, was that from Elk 1 or Elk 2? If that was from Elk 2, that would be brave. If it was from Elk 1, then it was nice reaction. Trademark. There we go, meeting them. Mid-air. Switching sides, we're just zooming around. Ah, that's the tricky situation. If the first hit of the DP whips, you're always in a dangerous like area where are you gonna risk it by swinging into it with a bar slash? Are you gonna pick a lighter button, or are you gonna make it completely whiff by walking back? Here we go, Mai on perhaps game-winning pressure sequence here. We have the positive bonus. We can't guarantee going into it. Tried to run under the gun with a ricocheting shot coming back. Nice stick throw once again. Is Mai gonna be able to punish? No, no DP is in sight. Jump heavy gets a big counter hit. Good YRC milks the wild assault charge from Mai, and there is a chance for SMG. Oh, I wonder if SMG was scared of the mix-up. Blocks into the right direction, stands up. Ricochet shot is plus frames and could have able. I think SMG would have been able to pick it up, but the hesitation there. Missing the combo string. And unfortunately giving Mai an opportunity to DP out of that sequence. And I mean, you might as well be DPing there. It's kind of like, if they hesitate, if you don't pick up the combo, then no Elfelt player is gonna abort that sequence, right? I gotta say, good stuff from Mai, and good on Mai for, you know, bettering her basics for that particular matchup. That must feel good, losing one and then coming back later and saying, yes, I can indeed adapt. I can make this happen, even though I lost previously. All right, but grab a drink, take a hold of the edge of your seat. This is gonna be a banger, the last one of the evening, the biggest, the highest skill level match we have left. One of the strongest, if not the strongest player in Finland at the moment, JALLUMINATI's own Rygand, is gonna be measured up against one of the finest in Germany, and in fact one of the finest Asuka players, period, in the EMEA region. Let me give Blodboen a holler that it's go time. So far the record on Bounty Hunters for Blodboen is 2 extremely convincing games to get over ZoKHiZ, and then versus, who was it? Was it Whammel? It was one of the, let me check. The second was versus, no, it was actually against Maria. That of course they cleared with very strong, with fairly good confidence. Lost to David last week against Chip, one of the higher level chip players of the community. However, it was still, despite the score, extremely competitive set. And now this time around, Blodboen will be pitted against one of the top talents in Finland. Rygand plays fast, plays furious, plays very aggressive, which is the kind of, I think, the playstyle you, to a certain extent, have to adapt against characters like Asuka or Happy Chaos. Of course, you can't rush too much. You, of course, have to have your wits about you so that you don't run into every single cube. And immediately, oh, nice anti-air there from Blodboen. I completely missed to see what the anti-air was, though. Slide out of there, into more pressure. Oh, we're drawing into the good utility. However, as soon as Blodboen casted the auto-refresh spell, Rygand was ready to punish that. I hope the connection is okay, though. This looks a little weird. Hope it's just for the spectators. Right, schmoving over the arpeggio, aka the gate, which is one of the nastiest spells to deal with. As soon as the gate starts spitting up cubes, on the ground you probably have no hope whatsoever for, you know, avoiding the incoming cubes. But so far, Rygand has taken the sky instead and using the jump D from Mai that is able to hold your momentum in the air for very long periods of time. Right, into pressure, plus frames, going with the jump. A couple of screamers available for area control and or blockstring pressure for Blodboen. Going for it, TK screamer. Another one available. Rygand staying fairly tight though, nice! Unleashes the air cube instead. This is already pressure. Oh, interesting drive-by hit. Not favoring Blodboen though. The mana shield pops. Now danger, danger, stranger, danger! We're out of mana. This is gonna hit so hard. Luckily for Blodboen, Rygand didn't have the 50 meter there to completely seal off the deal. And delaying will have to probably burst. Are they gonna? No, they are holding it. I mean, actually, they definitely don't have to go for a hero burst here, because Blodboen was in fact sitting on a round lead. Silly me. That's why I'm not playing at the moment and Blodboen is. Here we go, downwards with the jump heavy, looking a little stuttery. Right, barely avoiding the tail end of that screamer. God, this looks so stuttery. I hope the players will be able to fix it after the first game. But you know, when you are in the heat of the moment, you gotta go with what you have. Even if you have some stutters, this will probably be counted still. And Rygand finds the air-to-air, finds Blodboen trying to jump out of the corner. Yep, and no doubt we are going onto the drawing board, checking what's up, whose side is the problem on, or is it simply network magic, aka routing, that is the problem here. Yeah, Rygand saying it is hopping between 70 milliseconds and 170. Now, 170 milliseconds would technically be playable, but if it's a variable delay like that, it's very hard to play. It would be massive downer if we don't get to see these two talented players finish this today. However, the fact of the matter is that you know, we are, especially at higher level, we are all very competitively oriented players. We want to maintain the competitive, whatchamacallit, the let's put it like this, the game changes so much with delay that it's almost frustrating to play, so we of course don't want to force the players into the situation where they are basically playing a completely different game that they've been playing for these 3 years. So if we deem the connection unplayable, we are of course going to release the players from the misery. So Blodboen will try to reconnect. Integrity, that's the word, integrity. That's the fine word that we were looking for. In fact, this could be on my side as well. We've had this problem before where the players, for some reason, don't connect to each other very well. And we sometimes have the players host a room for themselves, so we could actually do that. And in fact, we are gonna jump. We're gonna take upon that option. And Blodboen is gonna be hosting a room for us. So we can be as time efficient as possible. If it doesn't work with Blodboen's hosted room, then we probably can safely conclude that shit be fucked, as we say in the industry. Wait, there's... Did I miss? Oh, I see. I didn't put the ID in there.
Welcome.
Alright, quick sneak peek of the room as well. Let's hop on, and we're ready to go. Alright, back into it. Rygand has the initial point. Fingers crossed that we do get a match here. I'd say because Blodboen has had pretty good connection to all over the Europe so far and did play, like, you know, Blodboen did play a game with ZoKHiZ, who comes from the infamous Pori dimension, which is not one of the best places on Finland to connect to people. If that connection was fine, I see no reason why connecting to Helsinki or the capital region wouldn't work out as well. But I mean, strange are the ways of the internet. It's for for all I'm concerned, black magic sometimes, depending on where the what countries the routing goes through. Right, it's not promising in terms of the preview before the match. I think Rygand said that the MS was hopping back and forth, but we will give it a try. Please. Ishiwatare, our Lord in heaven, I want to see this match so bad. I want this match for Christmas. So far, so good. Maybe. Right, and the whatchamacallit, the verdict is that it feels okay this time around. At least I'm not seeing any stuttering. Like on the first match that we played, it was just clearly massive stutters back and forth. But I think our players, according to chatter, are gonna probably set for still playing the match. Waiting for the final word. Still. And I think we've reached a verdict that we're actually gonna start from 0-0, because that first game was just so atrocious. Okay, so we're gonna have a full, hopefully good connection set here, starting from 0. Rygand being a bro and agreeing that, yeah, let's just take a step back and start this shit on a decent foot. Is that how I start on good terms? Start on even terms? Anyway, Rygand versus Blodboen. This is where the fun starts. So far, the previews that we've caught from Rygand, one way to deal with the cubes certainly seems to be to take very high up into the skies. And I mean, you are still the funny dolphin girl, so you do have a pretty fast option for checking the wizard for throwing spells from like mid-ish screen. And now the mana shield doesn't look like it's doing too good. Very important 2p mash there. And the mana shield is gone. Alright, now, big question. This is kind of a tricky situation for Blodboen, where he has to decide if he wants to spend the resources to try to get back to the mana shield, or the full mana. So, am I gonna burst, or am I just gonna take it? And that time, Blodboen's answer was, you know, we'll just play it out, try to delay it. And if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. That teleport spell looming in Blodboen's hand. And the mana shield once again goes pop. And massive damage coming through. Could that be a kill? Not quite. Very close though. And now you're basically guessing for your life. You stand on the overhead. However, being unable to spend any or throw any spells is definitely a downside to being Asuka. Because even though Blodboen is so good at utilizing his, you know, non-spell kit, aka his normals, in previous matches on Bounty Hunters, you can only get so far with it, and the risk-reward is definitely not in your favor in those cases. Especially against a hard-hitting character like Mei. If you swing and miss against Mei, oh boy. But I mean, sometimes you just don't have any option but to rely on the good old normals. Or the air throws. You better not whiff those though. Right. Crisis averted initially, and Blodboen gets back to the full mana situation. However, Rygand ready to fix that just quick. Half of your mana gone. Teleport looming in the hand, one attack spell. However, we need to guess right on the mix-up. Deflect Shield is another option available, which is an option that Blodboen has been very consistent with, very persistent with, very good at using. But Mei's also a character with a very nice command grab, so you play that Deflect Shield at the wrong moment, it lights out immediately. And so far, it seems to have been all these 3 rounds lights out constantly. I think Blodboen has been adjusting a little and throwing more air spells. Basically adjusting to the fact that Rygand has been jumping out of those cubes. Throwing cubes and not getting any value out of it, not even like... whiffing a cube on a Mei is probably not the greatest thing, because you would actually you would at least want them to block it and make them go into the block stun and then be able to recharge a little bit of your mana or to draw a card. But if it completely whiffs, then you are in a basically a danger zone for getting tagged by Mei if she calls out your attempts to recharge afterwards. And 2 quick games, yeah, I did mention Rygand. Fast and furious. And if he sees an opening, it's gonna look like this. So far, completely able to evade all the cubes, and surprisingly, to my surprise, not playing the ground game at all. I mean, if you have an option to evade in special ways and not swing into the cubes, I mean, of course, Mei is a character who would usually... she really doesn't have normals for that, I think. Her normals are good at killing the opponent, for striking the opponent. You probably don't want to be swinging into the cubes, because she doesn't have like good cancels out of them or anything either. I mean, you could swing into a cube and then dolphin, I guess. Maybe that could work. Not sure how good that actually is, though. But I mean, as they say in in a lot of the old scriptures, if you can jump at the opponent, why would you play neutral game? And so far, that seems to be Rygand's philosophy here against the wizard himself. Alright, dropping the overhead spell. Throwing a couple more spells. We do have offensive spells in hand. Double jump is able to avoid the fully charged 5 heavy from Mai. Wow, that was a brave reversal throw. This should go through. Yeah, completely erasing all and every cube coming through. Here is the resource recharge problem, though. Even if you get the hard knockdown, you are faced with a conundrum. Are you gonna go in with your normals? And afterwards, what is the follow-up? How do you get back to your full mana situation? Generally, you're not gonna recover those resources without using your charging moves, such as like you're not gonna get more mana back generally without charging it. I mean, the mana probably comes back eventually, but even so, you would probably love to command charge it if you have an opportunity. Lots of offensive spells in hand. Drops the overhead, gets the combo. Perhaps worried about the burst here. Rygand holding onto the burst and actually forcing Blodboen to drop their own burst. But here we go. The mana is low. Finally able to get some back. Now this is looking like the Asuka play that we're used to seeing. F-Shiki into a kill. Yes, that's the most opportune moment to play that. Get the wall break, get the kill. No 50 meter even needed. Tried to tag Rygand out of the sky with that TK cube on the low. And seem to be having way more success on this game number 4. However, Mai, if you get in once, nice use of the DP as well. Shopping for new cards, and we have the mana buff, mana recharge buff active as well, so combines really nice with the shuffle super or the mulligan super, if you will, if you are a card game player. All right, many teleports in hand, teleports right in front of Rygand. That was a pretty brave move. I think Rygand, not held by any cube block stun at the moment, could have potentially reacted with a throw or a mash. Now again, only utility spells in hand, and Rygand just takes the YRC and kills. Had so much meter to spend as well. There was just no way Blodboen is gonna wake out of that one. Plus frames from the beach ball. Creates a successful frame trap, able to draw into full hand. Oh, okay, we have a lot of combo pieces here. Mana cost down. But a lot of, yeah, there we have one of the pieces. Auto recharge, so now you don't have to draw another card for a couple of seconds. But you would usually combine that not only with, I mean, you have a mana recharge buff here, but only one attack spell in hand at the moment, so the Exodia that Blodboen technically got there for a moment was just completely nullified by Rygand's pressure and the fact that you just didn't have any spells to cast. So Rygand moving on, 4 points straight. I think what I've observed from Asuka matches so far, even at high level, Asuka is fairly susceptible to a lot of these more aggressive characters, right? You would love to sort of solidify your control, try to draw into some of your most important combo pieces before the opponent goes like all in, balls to the walls, like so. Forced to use the burst here, drawing the full hand, and again, the miss on whatever meaty there. Rygand goes for the reversal throw again, and why should he? It worked for the first time. So might as well try again until Blodboen shows that they have what it takes to pull up and, you know, do a tight setup. Hopping in. Good check there, 2P, 2P, gets Rygand momentarily out of his face. Have some mix-up capabilities here. The low spell is unleashed. Now 2 stuffs in hand. That's not looking good. Would have to draw some spells to be able to utilize any of that. Nice jump out. All right, drawing into finally some good spells. DP in hand and 1 staff. Uses it, bets the farm, but Rygand ready to read it. I think Rygand is probably, having played a lot of no doubt a lot of games against Shady's Asuka, should probably have the presence of mind to look at the hand currently, and if he sees a DP there, will be able to potentially adjust to the incoming, the upcoming RPS of, you know, just dealing with a normal DP technically. 5 in a row. All right, so what can Blodboen do here? It's not like it's really hard to say. That one time when Blodboen was able to draw into the Exodia, it just... the RNG was kind of working against him, right? Alright, Rygand going for an early burst here. And finds a very nice angle, baiting the burst. Getting kind of value out of that, forcing the burst out, but being the golden kind won't yield Rygand any punish as a result. Double screamer, frame traps. Gates are open. We're finally getting some mix-ups in. However, Rygand with an anti-air far slash. Oh my goodness! Break the mana shield into the mix-up. Nice, calls it out. The air back dash is caught by a standing P. Teleport out of the corner. Nope, just run out. Go back in and the air throw. Oh, wish moving now. Draw a couple of spells. Only utility. Uh-oh. This is the thing that we were talking about, the RNG. Sometimes you absolutely need to draw something important and you draw 3 utility spells in a row. Even though that was some really good utility, you would much rather draw into that utility while you're in the middle of your pressure strings, right? So that you can adapt, first of all, what you drew, but also get a safe activation on that utility. Alright, we're shopping for new stuff. Charging mana. Blodboen is one of those Asuka players who are not afraid to just use their health as a resource as well to... Oh! We got a mix-up here, cross-up from the gate. Oh, Rygand not respecting between the cubes. Tries to 5P once again, it doesn't work out this time. Rygand waits the gold burst out, and now there is nothing to stop Rygand from running Blodboen over. We have potentially YRC, but yeah, it's been baited like 1, 2, 3 times already by Rygand. And again, how could you not release that? How could you not go for that? How could you not, like, you can't just sit there as Asuka, right? That was the 6th point, but I think I got a couple of accidental double clicks, so I think it's 6-0. I mean, the players would know, so we're gonna find out in the end. But either way, it's kind of like you can't just sit there as Asuka. The thing is, if you block stuff, it's gonna reduce from your mana shield, and if you run out of mana, it's Jover. So it's a little easier to predict what and when Asuka is gonna try to use his defensive resources, because he kind of has to, sooner than later. Alright, speaking of, have some utility here, perhaps teleport out of the corner. Oh, is it gonna reach? It's gonna reach, and it's gonna kill as well. Is Rygand gonna go straight 7? The training camp has surely worked out. Round start. S-Dolphin. It's looking tough for Blodboen. Just hasn't been able to get any sort of stuff started here. Rygand once again, air dash, jump slash, counter hit. Reducing from the mana shield. It's gonna hurt. Oh, brother, it's gonna hurt. Ow. And if it pops, it could be over. Blodboen is very close to blue burst, but like if you run out of mana, what good is the burst gonna be? He kind of has to use it, right? But he doesn't even get to the red wild assault. Even though it reduces just a little bit of burst, the hesitation there to not go immediately into the blue burst. Ends up spelling Blodboen's doom, but even if he got that burst out, I repeat the question, what good is it? You had very little mana. I think you even had your mana shield broken. And it do be. Damn, Rygand today. It seems like, yeah, like I was saying, the training camp must have paid off. It really does help that you have, you know, a couple of these, you know, super high level players such as Shady in the community that can kind of cover the weird matchups. Like, we don't necessarily have a lot of like Zato players, Happy Chaos players, Asuka players in Finland, but when you have somebody who is just a fundamentally sound player, top level player, and has played every single character in the game already, and they are willing to be a sparring partner for just about anybody who is willing to ask, the Finns definitely have decent resource in the form of just having good, you know, sparring partners, high-level sparring partners to play against. And I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't find a sparring partner, just ask Shady, and you're at least gonna get a little bit of value for your money, no matter what character you want to play against. And I think Rygand and Shady are pretty tight like that, and they spar with each other a lot. You know, it's no wonder you're top player to top player. You want to have somebody who is able to match your skill level, even if you're like, no matter what you're practicing for. All right, but that'll be that. Had some bangers, had some, you know, a lot of the matches tonight were fairly even. We had some comebacks, but now it is time to lay Bounty Hunters down to rest for the rest of the week. We shall see you again next Sunday. As you know how it goes, 5 p.m. CET every Sunday. If you want to join the next event, join the Discord. We even have new pings for when sign-up forms go online, so you don't miss them ever again. Is my body's not working, I guess. But yeah, without any further stalling, let's see if we got any good opportunities in terms of raid targets. Who is playing at the moment? I don't see a lot of Strive players. We, of course, have the Doc community event going on at the moment, which we do visit from time to time. Anything else? Don't really see a whole lot of names that I recognize, so let's just go with the Old Faithful and just raid Duck instead. Alright, so that'll be that for me. Thank you everybody for watching. It was a blast to cast this week. We'll see you again next Sunday. Till then, stay safe, play Guilty Gear. Let's train. Let's train for that install coming up. Yours truly is training super hard. No matter, you know, not just Strive, but also Exerd. But yeah, see you then. Stay safe. Bye-bye.